They deserve the tools they need and the trust they have earned to fight and to win. Second, the consequences of a rapid exit are both predictable and unacceptable.
The president calling on Pakistan and India to aid the U.S. in the fight against the Taliban. He says he wants to change the approach to Pakistan and that we can no longer ignore that country is a safe haven for terrorists. He's calling on them to demonstrate a desire for peace. This is a Fox News alert.
.660 AM, The Answer.
Hi, you may recognize my voice. For years, I've been doing the commercials for Vein Clinics of America. The really funny thing is I had bulging varicose and spider veins for years and didn't do anything about it. There were whole summers I'd play the cover-up game and suffer because I didn't want to wear shorts or skirts. Listen, when your veins are bulging out the back of your legs, you don't want people to see. It's embarrassing and painful. So I finally did something and I went to Vein Clinics of America. It was so much easier than I thought. My treatments only took about an hour and I went right back to work. And now I'm wearing shorts and my legs look and feel amazing. Best of all, my insurance covered the procedure. So stop hiding. Call Vein Clinics of America now. They're the best. They're the largest, and they've been helping people restore their legs for over 35 years. There's absolutely no reason to suffer any longer. Call Vein Clinics now for your free fast-track consultation. Call 800-780-1975. 800-780-1975. That's 800-780-1975. For more than 34 years, William Noble has been Dallas's premier source for estate, precious, and rare jewelry. William Noble has moved to their new location in Highland Park Village next to Ralph Lauren. And now it's your chance to turn a special occasion into something truly memorable. If you have an anniversary, birthday, or special occasion, or if you're getting engaged.
To get engaged is a nervous process and transaction, and we're involved with them every step of the way. It's a big deal. At William Noble, what we do is we actually treat that first client as well as our best client that we've had for 30, 40 years, because we're not looking at that one transaction. We're not interested in making a sale. We're interested in building a relationship.
Don't wait. William Noble has the largest inventory in the Southwest of precious and rare jewelry, and they're offering special pricing during their grand reopening in Highland Park Village next to Ralph Lauren. Call 214-526-3890 for an appointment, or visit William Noble in Highland Park Village next to Ralph Lauren. There's never been a better time to visit during their grand reopening sale. WilliamNoble.com.
Does how you feel interfere with your lifestyle? Take control before it does. Harvard Medical recently published a paper on how to decrease your risk of cancer, heart disease, blood pressure, diabetes, bowel and vision problems. The answer, backed by dozens of studies, is not vitamins. It's eating more fruits and vegetables in their whole, complete form. 4 simple tips that I've used with my patients over the years are: 1, keep fruits and vegetables where you can see them readily. 2, get crazy. Explore the produce aisle and choose something new. 3, make it a meal. Try new recipes that include more vegetables and fruits. And the easiest of all, to get the complete nutrition of 31 different fruits and vegetables every day, take Balance of Nature.
What are you waiting for? Don't miss your opportunity to get a free month supply of Balance of Nature. Call 1-800-2468-751 or go to balanceofnature.com.
Use promo code 660AM. This is Hugh Hewitt for Townhall.com. All law students taking a First Amendment course or even a constitutional law survey course learn the rule of Brandenburg v. Ohio, a case that grew out of a 1964 KKK rally near Cincinnati. Brandenburg provides that the constitutional guarantees of free speech and free press do not permit a state to forbid or prescribe advocacy of using force or of law violation except where such advocacy is directed to inciting or producing imminent lawless action and is likely to incite or produce such action. The speech at the core of that case was every bit as odious as that used by the bigots in Charlottesville this weekend. But those bigots in 1964 lacked the present ability to incite violence. Those in Charlottesville had that ability to incite violence, and they used it. Now 3 are dead. The investigation should be careful and professional, but also resolute. Lots of people should be charged if they contributed to the mayhem that led to those deaths. I'm Hugh Hewitt.
Warning. If you're drowning in debt you can't afford, do not let the credit card companies trick you into thinking that you have to pay it all back, because you don't. What the credit card companies don't want you to know is that there's actually a way to get debt-free without paying off your entire debt or going bankrupt. If you have $5,000 or more in credit card debt, you now have the right to let us settle that debt for a fraction of what you owe. For free information, call Credit Associates now. 1-800-700-0299. We'll even show you how much money you could save. If you can't afford to pay off all your debt, do not let the credit card companies trick you into thinking that you have to. Call Credit Associates now for free information on how to get debt-free faster than you ever thought possible without debt consolidation or bankruptcy. We depend on your success and offer a guarantee, so there's no risk. For free information, call now. 1-800-700-0299. That's 1-800-700-0299. 1-800-700-0299.
Ready to replace that lumpy old mattress? This time make it a Sovereign European mattress system. What you'll find is a healthier, more durable, more comfortable mattress at a very reasonable price. How reasonable? King-size mattresses start at $2,300, and with 0% interest for 12 months, that's about $6 a day. Priced below all those premium mattresses on the market, and even though you're getting a better bed, you're not paying more for it. Sovereign European Sleep Systems in Dallas and South Lake. Learn more at sovn.com.
Learn a little something at the start of your day. The Mark Davis Show. Mornings 7 to 10 on 660 AM. The Answer. Is anybody out there paying attention to what's going on in this country, in this state, and in this city? We know one man who is. You got questions? He's got answers. This is the Wells Report with John David Wells on 660 AM. The Answer.
You are listening to the Wells Report. My name is John David Wells. Our telephone number is 866-660-5759. 866-660-5759. President of the United States just spoke. It was his first address to the nation, and it happened on the 213th day of his presidency. He came to us from Fort Myer, Arlington, Virginia. He spoke before a military crowd who did not react during the speech at all, except a very hearty, warm applause at the end. Jason was just joining us and wanted to know a little bit more about the rules of engagement moving forward. The president touched on this in a couple of different ways. First of all, what he said was we're not going to micromanage what happens on the field level. That is not the way to win battles. Micromanagement from the White House does not win wars. It only prolongs them. He is going to empower the military to be able to, in the field, make decisions to attack and seek retribution swiftly without having to go back through this entire gigantic chain of command, including the president, who has to think of things from a political standpoint. What we're going to do is kill terrorists. We're no longer going to try to nation build. That frees up the military to do whatever is necessary to be able to kill those terrorists. It was very much like the surge. There was a time in Iraq and Afghanistan at the same time. There was a time in Iraq when what was happening was that we were kind of bogged down. Things began to slow down. The tempo of the war had been slowed by a willingness of the enemy to fight a war of attrition. And what ended up happening was that we decided to stopping the military from doing their job. That's what the surge was all about. And as I said here from this microphone, I said, yeah, the rules of engagement are now find a terrorist and shoot him in the head, as opposed to, find all these terrorists and then tell us where they are so that we can pore over a map to see what kind of collateral damage might occur from an airstrike, and then send in an airstrike and not actually have anybody drop bombs because, well, the tactical situation had changed. In other words, it was a political way to fight a war. That's not the way you fight wars. There are politics in warfare, but there are not politics that dictate warfare. There is only the condition of the war and the battlefield at the moment that you're discussing it. I hope that clears things up. But it's one of those things that I thought the president did a very, very good job with on this speech from the very beginning. He talked about the nation having to prove over and over and over again that every generation must give lives to serve this country.
Since the founding of our republic, our country has produced a special class of heroes whose selflessness, courage, and resolve is unmatched in human history. American patriots from every generation have given their last breath on the battlefield for our nation and for our freedom. Through their lives, and though their lives were cut short, in their deeds they achieved total immortality. By following the heroic example of those who fought to preserve our republic, we can find the inspiration our country needs to unify, to heal, and to remain one nation under God. The men and women of our military operate as one team with one shared mission and one shared sense of purpose. They transcend every line of race, ethnicity, creed, and color to serve together and sacrifice together in absolutely perfect cohesion. That is because all service members are brothers and sisters. They're all part of the same family. It's called the American family. They take the same oath, fight for the same flag, and live according to the same law. They are bound together by common purpose, mutual trust, and selfless devotion to our nation and to each other.
And that is what he called on we, the people of the United States, to emulate, using the United States military as an example. What he wanted to do was he wanted us, the people of the United States, to stand together and bond ourselves together.
The soldier understands what we as a nation too often forget, that a wound inflicted upon a single member of our community is a wound inflicted upon us all. When one part of America hurts, we all hurt. And when one citizen suffers an injustice, we all suffer together. Loyalty to our nation demands loyalty to one another. Love for America requires love for all of its people. When we open our hearts to patriotism, there is no room for prejudice, no place for bigotry, and no tolerance for hate. The young men and women we send to fight our wars abroad deserve to return to a country that is not at war with itself at home. We cannot remain a force for peace in the world if we are not at peace with each other. As we send our bravest to defeat our enemies overseas, and we will always win, let us find the courage to heal our divisions within. Let us make a simple promise to the men and women we ask to fight in our name, that when they return home from battle, they will find a country that has renewed the sacred bonds of love and loyalty that unite us together as one.
The President of the United States speaking tonight from Fort Myer in Arlington, Virginia, on the 213th day of his presidency, his first national address, speaking to the people of the United States, using the United States military as a superb example of working together and standing together. Our same common bond. And that is exactly what he needed to say at this particular moment in our history. He then went on to talk a little bit about frustrations of Americans who are indeed weary of war without victory. He qualified his statement, weary of war without victory. It was a political deal. That's what this war was all about. It had descended into our Vietnam. And this was a situation that he wanted to remedy, and that is something that he addressed as he spoke to the nation tonight.
Thanks to the vigilance and skill
This is 220.
of the
Time is
American
220.
military and of our many allies throughout the world, horrors on the scale of September 11th, and nobody can ever forget that, have not been repeated on our shores. But we must acknowledge the reality I am here to talk about tonight, that nearly 16 years after September 11th attacks, after the extraordinary sacrifice of blood and treasure, the American people are weary of war without victory. Nowhere is this more evident than with the war in Afghanistan, the longest war in American history, 17 years. I share the American people's frustration. I also share their frustration over a foreign policy that has spent too much time, energy, money, and most importantly, lives, trying to rebuild countries in our own image instead of pursuing our security interests above all other considerations. That is why, shortly after my inauguration, I directed Secretary of Defense Mattis and my national security team to undertake a comprehensive review of all strategic options in Afghanistan and South Asia. My original instinct was to pull out.
John David,
and historically,
the next cut is 35 seconds. The cut after that is 127.
But all my life, I've heard that decisions are much different when you sit behind the desk in the Oval Office. In other words,
Sounds
when you're
good.
President of the United States. So I studied Afghanistan in great detail and from every conceivable angle. After many meetings over many months, we held our final meeting last Friday at Camp David with my cabinet and generals to complete our strategy.
And the President of the United States speaking to us tonight, his first national address. Joining us now, the Congressman from the Texas 32nd, a dear friend of ours, and indeed, sharply dressed tonight, because this shirt of his, I don't know, you get the right shirt, makes your shoulders look big, you look manly, sharp-dressed man. It's Congressman Pete Sessions here on the Wells Report. It's amazing how I do that, isn't it? Time after time.
It works.
Well, it works because you can pull it off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I tell you what I pull off. I've got these rubber bands that I work out with. And no, I'm serious, because you can travel whether you're standing up late at night. You can't carry a set of weights around so easily.
No.
But you can carry a bunch of 30-pound strength rubber bands.
So. Having played baseball a great deal of my life and having the rotator cuff surgeries to prove it.
Yeah.
They the last time I went through all those and started doing all of those, those with those elastic bands, I started to cry pretty much as soon as they handed me.
It reminds you.
Yeah.
It reminds you. Your mind made a promise your body can't hold.
That is a fact.
I learned a long time ago, I'm not an athlete. I'm a football player. You're an athlete. I was a track and football guy, not an athlete. So I don't have to worry about that.
Yeah, I hear you. I played a little football and decided I was not going to play that ridiculous game when I found myself on my hands and knees looking at the grass and it was in black and white.
Yeah.
Yeah, I decided I was done.
I love being invited to come in and see you. I do enjoy touching base with you from Washington, as it's really
important.
like, yes, sir.
And you get it better than anybody.
Right. Where you're looking at the field of vision and the lens that we have from up there, and then coming back here and being with you, the focus on the agenda that we stand for. Our party still stands for free enterprise and opportunity, and the other side still is for everything Nancy Pelosi wants: raising taxes, making things more difficult, more government. And we are not in that endeavor right now. We're mired in talking about things that are really looking backwards to our country. And we are playing the game that Barack Obama wants us to play about attacking America.
Exactly.
That looking back and talking about how bad we are, how bad our past was, how embarrassed we are, instead of, you know what? The country used time to get better and to heal itself, to become the greatest country in the world. And then we, even though we did that, and I think we have been the greatest country in the world.
We have.
For a long period of time, defeating enemies in front of us, not just militarily, but even inflation and getting rid of big government. I mean, a lot of things. And what are we back to now? We're back to attacking ourselves. The president spoke about that tonight. Men and women who represent this country, when they come back home, they deserve an opportunity to know that that which they fought for, we made an equal sacrifice back here of trying to get government under control. So when I'm with you, it becomes very clear that we can focus on these things. Me being back home during a work period is important for me, not just sleeping in my own bed, but actually defining these things about how we're going to move forward. 1 week ago, I had a chance to be at the food bank, North Texas Food Bank. And at the end of the time after they asked the questions, the media asked questions of me, the guy from Channel 5 put the camera on me, said, "What else do you want to say that we didn't ask?" And I said, thank you.
Good question.
I looked right at the camera. This will never play. I looked right at the camera and said, I would like to say to people who are watching this, who have just moved to North Texas, welcome. We're delighted that you're here. I'm Congressman Pete Sessions, and we're at the North Texas Food Bank. We work together in North Texas to make our communities work, whether it's the Boy Scouts, the YMCA, food banks, cleaning up White Rock Lake. I mean, mention whichever of the nonprofits that we want. We make our community work. And we do this so that we do not need government interference.
Exactly.
We want things to get fixed and done right. So those of you who have just moved to North Texas, please know we'd like to invite you to come be a part of the success that Texas is contributing to the country. They'll never play it.
Well, I don't know, but we'll play it, and we'll put it on a podcast, and people will be able to hear it. And you know, there are a lot of different ways to get this thing done, but I have got to say that, touching on some of the things you just spoke of, with the way we have been divided, the mainstream media being used as another deep state tool. Same thing with Antifa or Antifa or any of these people doing exactly what the playbook said at the end of the Obama administration, which was to resist as opposed to persist, go out and create as much difficulty as humanly possible instead of standing together with the new president and doing all the things opposite of what is traditional for the United States. I appreciated the fact that the president called on us to stand together, as the military does. The military, it is an act of, it is the greatest thing the military does, which is to forge one unit, e pluribus unum.
Yeah.
Of many, one. It doesn't make any difference what your packaging is. It makes no difference what your gender is. It makes no difference the color of your skin, the church you go to. Makes no difference whatsoever. Those people stand together. If they can do it, we can do it. As one of them is wounded, the entire unit is wounded. As we damage ourselves.
If one falls, they go to bring that person back.
Our entire society hurts when we are injured by people who are simply trying to make our place a worse place to live. And I'm done with that. And so what we do here is we try very, very hard to make sure that people in a clear way hear what has to be talked about and get an opportunity to talk about it. I think the clarity that you're mentioning, if I can be so bold, is the fact that we will not tolerate not being able to have a clear conversation about what is necessary for the greatness of our society, as opposed to tearing it to pieces. And I think that's what we do here.
Absolutely. Well, this discussion I had with Channel 5, and by the way, thank goodness they were there, and the gentleman cared enough to ask.
Kevin Coakley?
No, it was a cameraman.
Okay.
They didn't send any talent out. It was the camera. These are things which we believe in Texas. We're still the creator of more jobs in Texas than the rest of the country combined.
Yes.
And I think we do need to talk about what's great about this country and how we're going to make it stronger instead of going back. I also don't think that we need to initiate items, discussions, necessarily public debates like that are designed to divide us.
Exactly. And that's all this was.
Because they are designed to, so good for Channel 5. I'm proud of them.
Absolutely. That's a great organization. I mentioned the name Kevin Coakley. Kevin has covered important things on both sides of the political spectrum. He's covered important things. A very fair and very good reporter who is someone that I expect will have a much stronger and more wonderful career. He's had a great career, but that's a guy that really needs to move up. One of the things that you were so nice to do for me was invite me to one of your town halls.
Mm-hmm.
And I was horrified at the way you were treated by the people there. I have spoken several times about how, and I don't want you to respond.
You were on the front row.
Well, I was right there. I couldn't believe the rudeness, the lack of respect. I could not believe the waste of time it turned into, simply because people were shouting at the top of their lungs and not hearing what you had to say. So what I was hoping was what is happening tonight, where you and I could sit down and have a conversation about these very important issues and involve the people from the Texas 32nd or anywhere else.
You bet.
If you have a question, and a question only, join us at 866-660-5759, 866-660-5759. This is your chance to ask a question of Pete Sessions that will get answered, and you'll actually be able to hear the answer. 866-660-5759, 866-660-5759. So kind of a town hall meeting of the year, if you will. And I'm just basically going to tie you to your chair for an hour. So we'll be here. You'll have to leave at 10:30. So
too bad.
That's the way it goes.
Yeah.
866-660-5759, 866-660-5759. A while back, I asked about you and John Cornyn.
Mm-hmm.
You are the guys that people are the most vocal about. And I said, what is it that you have? What is it that you need to ask these people? What is it that they're not doing for you?
Mm-hmm.
And the people, I finally realized when they said, hey, what does Pete Sessions do? And I said, he is the chairman of the Rules Committee. In other words, he does everything.
Mm-hmm.
In other words, if there's something that the House of Representatives considers, it goes through Pete Sessions first.
Mm-hmm.
So all these people that said, well, what is it?
Probably last.
Well,
because it goes through the committee.
Yeah.
Mostly.
But before it can be voted on.
That's correct.
You have to make sure that all that stuff happens. Mm-hmm. And I'm saying that means that he's on top of everything in the House of Representatives. Mm-hmm. You're in the catbird seat, buddy.
Mm-hmm. So let me just, whether we like this or not, I'm gonna talk a little bit.
Well,
we need to take a break.
We do.
Good.
Well,
I'll stick around.
Please do.
Yeah.
Any question, but a question only. 866-660-5759. 866-660-5759. Pete Sessions is a man who has taught me more about national politics than any 10 people that I've ever met in my life. And is a guy that does indeed get all of this. And if you have a question only. No pontificating, no yelling and screaming. That's for some other kind of venue. What we're going to do is we're going to have questions and answers tonight. We are fortunate to have Pete Sessions, Congressman from the Texas 32nd, joining us on the Wells Report here on 660 AM The Answer. Back with more in just a moment.
Hey, it's Mark Davis. We have an idea, a celebration featuring you and some special guests. Join us for an evening with Mark Davis, Wednesday, September 20th, Austin Ranch and Grapevine, featuring Colonel Alan West, Cowboys legend Daryl Moose Johnston, and my talk show brother, Mike Gallagher. Tickets on sale now at 660amtheanswer.com. A great dinner and an evening of radio stories, hot topics, unpredictable moments. An evening with Mark Davis. Join us September 20th. Tickets on sale now at 660amtheanswer.com. Brought to you by Southwest Office Systems, AAA Auger Services, and DFW Honda.
Hi, everybody. Dennis Gibbs here. You know, the boat guy. Talking about boats, boating, lakes, marinas, and, well, if it floats, we talk about it. The advice we give is the best you will ever hear. They call it expert advice. Between myself, Boating Royalty, Lake Level Ginger, and Brother Strick, you hear only intelligent talk. Join us every Saturday at 6 p.m. on 660 AM The Answer, the Big Boat and Outdoor Show, brought to you by DallasBoatsForSale.com.
Hey, it's Mark Davis from my friends at Sleep Experts. Labor Day. It's coming down the road a piece, but you know what's on right now? The Sleep Experts Labor Day sale, giving you savings of up to $500 off every mattress brand. You'll find the perfect mattress for you with Sleep Experts' exclusive Expert Match technology. You can even get up to 6 years interest-free financing on qualifying mattress sets. Call 866-780-6220 for credit costs and terms. Consumer Choice Award winners 11 years in a row. New school year coming, decking out a dorm room. Save big at Sleep Experts for back to school. Twin mattresses starting at just $189. You'll love the Expert Match mattress. You lie down on it, senses your mattress needs, and send you to 5 or 6 mattresses instead of 300. You're saving time and money at Sleep Experts. SleepExperts.com. Find a location near you. They're wonderful folks, especially during this Labor Day sale. Up to $500 off all across the store. SleepExperts.com.
Hi, I'm Jeff Stewart with Reliant Air Conditioning. People always ask me why we don't advertise on price. The answer? We advertise on quality. Imagine if Honda Accords were assembled by local car dealers instead of the factory. Wouldn't you pay a lot more attention to the quality of that dealer? Folks, replacing an air conditioner is the same thing. We're assembling that product in your attic, and the most important day of your system's life is the day it's installed. Our installation teams undergo hundreds of hours of hands-on factory and field training. Right now, you can combine manufacturer and utility rebates to save over $5,000 on a brand new system that can cut your electric bill in half. So call 2 other companies first, and then call Reliant Air Conditioning and see how we've been gimmick-free since '83. Our number is 877-YOUR-HERO. That's 877-YOUR-HERO, or online at ReliantAirConditioning.com.
Reliant Air Conditioning. Call 877-YOUR-HERO.
Have you checked your Google search results lately? Search results are usually the first impression that people form of you or your business, so make sure that they create a positive impression with ReputationDefender.com. What the internet says about you can have a big impact on your life and your livelihood, even if it's not true. Fortunately, you can now control how you look online and in online search results with ReputationDefender.com. Call 800-827-5948 now. That's 800-827-5948 for your free reputation analysis. If you have negative material from an ex-employee, upset patient, or former client, newspaper article, legal issue, social media, or other source showing up in your search results, you can combat it with ReputationDefender.com. Our dedicated experts in patented technology can help make your online search results look their best. Call 800-827-5948 to learn more. 800-827-5948. That's 800-827-5948. Or visit ReputationDefender.com.
Mike Gallagher here for Relief Factor. You might be asking, who should consider ordering Relief Factor? Well, anyone with pain that's keeping them from doing things that bring joy to their life. Maybe taking a long walk, not having the pain, riding a bike, playing golf again without pain, opening a jar or sewing or using a hammer, even rolling out of bed every morning without pain. For me, I had hip replacement. And then I had a little bit of a scooter accident in New York, left me miserable, aches and pains until I started taking Relief Factor. Heard about them on the radio. I started to take Relief Factor, a packet in the morning, a packet in the evening. You know what? I was completely pain-free. I want to prove it to you by you taking the 3-week quick start from Relief Factor. It's only $19.95. Do you know 80% of those who take the quick start order again? We know it works. So if your pain isn't worth the price of a cup of coffee a day to lower, then you're not in much pain. If it is worth it, try the 3-week quick start. ReliefFactor.com, ReliefFactor.com, or call 800-500-8384, Relief Factor.
Saying I don't know is no longer acceptable. This is 660 AM, The Answer. The Wells Report, a daily good old-fashioned North Texas barbecue of anybody trying to take advantage of us on 660 AM, The Answer.
A very busy night for us here on the Wells Report on 660 AM, The Answer. First of all, a special report with the President of the United States making his first national address. We will get back to that coming up in about an hour from now, because what we're going to do is we're going to have a town hall meeting of the air. Joining us from the Texas 32nd is Congressman Pete Sessions. Any question spanning the length and breadth of the universe, any question that you have to ask, but a question only, please, at 866-660-5759. Jim in Denton, thanks for joining us. What is your question for Pete Sessions?
Congressman Sessions, I'd like to know why we can't get rid of baseline budgeting and have Congress sit down, go through the budget line by line, and get rid of things we don't need and come up with a reasonable budget and get rid of this deficit thing.
Yeah, there are a lot of people that are concerned. I mean, it's $20 trillion in national debt. The deficit just adds to it every year. But talk to us a little bit about some of this.
Yeah, thank you very much. And by the way, thank God for Jim. He's listening to a clear channel, so to speak, guy on this end who can give a thoughtful answer every night. Jim, here is what we have done. For the last 8 years, the Republican House Conference, through sustaining hundreds of votes, has kept us exactly where we were. Starting in 2011, we froze it. We stayed exactly where we had been the year before. In 2012, we had an agreement with the debt limit to go to sequestration. We have taken $187 billion, not huge numbers, but $187 billion off 2011 spending, and we are now between 2008 and 2009 spending levels. For discretionary, this is not the mandatory spending. This is running
like
the
Social
government.
Security.
That
Medicare.
is
mandatory
policy.
Yeah,
that's policy. We don't even budget for it.
Yeah, I hear you.
So, and we need to talk about that someday too. And we in 2012, 2013, 2014, 2015, 2016, and 2017 have held at 2008 spending levels.
So in other words, the
we
numbers
have held. It's like a lion holding the windpipe of something in Africa. We have held them for 10 years. Members of Congress make what they made. We'll go into our 12th year of no COLA, no COLA.
Right.
We're not giving ourselves even a COLA increase.
Cost
12
of living
years, cost of living
increase.
We have held ourselves, but that's because it takes the president and the Senate to agree to it too. So we said we're not going to agree to a dang thing, so we'll do that. But the president got a signing bonus and got all the policy because he wouldn't agree to anything. So we had what's called a CR, continuing resolution, during this whole time. So that means the same policies under Barack Obama, Nancy Pelosi, and Harry Reid are still in place by and large. And that's why this time we need to agree. And we're working with the president. He wants to move around spending. We're for that too. But we're trying to reduce spending and get the policy. So that's why we are going to go back. Before we took the August recess to come back home and work, we did 4 of 12 spending bills, what are called appropriations, not budget, they're appropriations bills. We're going to go back and I'm going to give you the numbers here in a minute because Caroline went to get them. But we are going to cut money and move it around. For instance, EPA gets cut again.
Good.
IRS gets cut again.
Again, good.
All sorts of things get cut, and then they get plussed up other places. Like the military is going to get $70 billion more.
Real important.
So we're taking things out of one place and adding to another. We're going to hold it in place. Now, this gentleman says, why don't we go and do baseline budgeting? Well, we had an agreement that we're going to simply stay where we are. Now, here's the other side of the gentleman's question. If we're going to do something about balancing our budget, we have to grow our economy. All we need is 4%, a 4% growth. And there is agreement on the Republican side, not the Democratic side, to do that. So that's where we're adding in our growth factor. And our taxes are still too high.
Yeah,
so we're going to come in and reduce our taxes too, which is revenue, but it should kick in on the other side with more efficiency and people working harder. So we now have control, and it's up to us to get this done. And now the president needs to get enough advisors around him to where he can make this calculus work.
Terry in Ovilla, Texas, what's your question for Pete Sessions?
Hi, Congressman Sessions. I want to know why it is that there's hardly any public support for President Trump from Congress, from the House, or from the Senate. Nobody's standing up for him. It seems like he's fighting the media and the Democrats and everybody else all by himself.
Good question.
Yeah,
we talk about that a lot here.
Yeah, it is a question.
Let me bring you up to date to what I've been talking about here, which is the Democrats didn't want Donald Trump. Arguably, the Republicans didn't want Donald Trump. I mean, we had a superstar class of presidential candidates, best anybody ever saw. Governors that were hitting the ball out of the park in their states, people that were accomplished congressmen and accomplished senators and had done such great work. And this populist put them all away because the people of the United States were frustrated with the political process. We see some of that kind of strangling out the first few months of the Donald Trump presidency. What are your thoughts on that? And what's it going to take to get that turned around?
The opportunity to support the president is important to the Republican Party. The president won the election. The president deserves the right to have us work with him and listen to his vision. In fairness, the president has not taken a position on health care bill.
That's true.
It is true.
That's true.
In fairness, the president does not yet have a team around him to even present us with a tax bill. We've not seen his tax ideas. In fairness, the president does want, and we have seen where Jeff Sessions, the Attorney General, has been doing an amazing number of things that have to be done, and the president really came after him.
Yeah, there are some things that are missing.
We want to jump in. I know. All I'm saying is the president is getting his warm-up act done.
Yeah.
We write letters time after time after time. I've written 10 myself to an administration 5 and 6 and 7 months in, and gotten a reply back that was sustaining what President Obama had as an answer. So what we're doing is attempting to work and craft and create legislation for the president. But in fairness, the president even asked today on TV, I saw it this morning on Fox, I want to know why we have been for 16 years in this war.
Right.
That was asked this morning, like he did not know what the answer was. Tonight, we came back and found out, in fact, he has studied it. he does have an answer. And the bottom line is, it is in America's best interest not to allow there to be a Tora Bora or someplace else where a few hundred militants can come to this country. Oh, we're stopping that now. And our travel ban would get closer. And to where we don't have someone from Tora Bora that could come and plan for 2 years to take down and cost $2 billion, $2 trillion over the period of time, but $2 billion worth of just buildings alone.
You brought that up. He brought up Pakistan today. That's the first time I've ever heard a president bring up Pakistan in the context of terrorism since I've been doing this show. Just about. I mean, it's been amazing. Jim in Dallas, thanks for joining us. Welcome to the Wells Report. What is your question, and question only, for Congressman Pete Sessions?
Yes, sir. What I'd like to know is Congressman Sessions' opinion as to why there wasn't more Republican support for President Trump's statements with regard to Charlotte and the situation there that occurred recently.
Yeah, talk to us a little bit about that. I think I have a clue, but what is your learned opinion? You know, there were an awful lot of people looking at their shoes on Capitol Hill when the president was speaking about Charlottesville. I was able to just follow his conversation, but I understood that there were some political things at play that were not necessarily so obvious.
Well, let me say this. First of all, we're not on Capitol Hill. We are back home.
Yeah.
It happened over a weekend, and not everybody saw the entire coverage. The president made his statement. Oh, so did I. And my statements were, I am not for people of hate. I do not like haters, but we need to look forwards and not backwards. And I thought the president's first things, we tried to mirror him, and then the president offered a chance to re-talk about it when we were told he was going to come and give a discussion about the infrastructure.
Right. That's right, which he did, and then was moved off of it by the press.
It got moved off.
Yeah.
So then we were thrown back into a circumstance we thought was put to bed.
Yeah.
Well, by the time it gets to that and trying to clarify the clarification, look, I have no problem saying if you show up with a Nazi flag, I'm not on your side.
Yeah.
But the fact's the case, and this gentleman is, I think, saying it too, but we're not for tearing down America nor our past. We want to look forward.
Exactly.
But it took a life of its own to where I, quite honestly, don't sit around and listen, and it happened.
Well, a lot of it had to do with the fact that the mainstream media got the bit in their teeth for some reason, what they wanted to do. And I know this.
No mistake about that.
I know this as a fact, because when they were thinking about taking down the Sam Houston statue in Houston, I went down there. And I'm not a member of the KKK, and I'm not a neo-Nazi, and I'm not this alt-right.
That's right.
I am an American patriot.
But show up with an American flag.
And that's exactly what I did. And what I did was, as I showed up there to protest the fact that they were going to take down a statue of General Sam Houston. I wasn't going to stand for that. It's ridiculous. And the thing about it is that there were people in Charlottesville that were there as American patriots, and the president referred to them, but the mainstream media wanted to cast anybody with white skin that were talking about keeping those monuments there as members of this phantom alt-right, when everybody that's involved in any of this hate and miscontent from the left, Nazis are leftist, KKK is leftist, all of this is left. The only people that were rightists were people like me, American nationalists, American patriots. And that was what the president was talking about. Then the media pounced, because essentially they wanted to cast all of us as if we were some sort of mangy group of crazy people, who play Germany in the 30s all the time. It's not us.
The president needs to
anticipate.
My opinion.
Go ahead.
The president needs to understand that OFA, Organizing for America, which is run completely by the leftists, and former president who's in there, that they have learned how to tweak Donald Trump.
Yeah.
And he is engaged in the fight. And I think we've got to learn, say what you say, and move forward and support America.
So, Jim, if you're wondering why the people don't support Trump, the people do. If you're wondering why you're in a position where you see the mainstream media absolutely with their hair on fire malfunctioning, and then you see other people in politics backing off from that, there's no way to win when the mainstream media is interested in damaging anything you say, regardless of whether it makes sense or not. I knew what the president was saying. You knew what the president was saying. Most people in America knew what the president was saying, except the mainstream media, who decided to turn it into something that it wasn't, so that they could completely submerge the fact that the president of the United States had faced down Kim Jong-un in what was our generation's Cuban Missile Crisis, and nobody even reported it except right here on the Wells Report on 660 AM The Answer. Pete Sessions is our guest. We are having a town hall meeting. Call with your question, 866-660-5759. This is the Wells Report.
For more than 34 years, William Noble has been Dallas's premier source for estate, precious, and rare jewelry. William Noble has moved to their new location in Highland Park Village next to Ralph Lauren. And now it's your chance to turn a special occasion into something truly memorable. If you have an anniversary, birthday, or special occasion, or if you're getting engaged.
To get engaged is a nervous process and transaction, and we're involved with them every step of the way. It's a big deal. At William Noble, what we do is we actually treat that first client as well as our best client that we've had for 30, 40 years, because we're not looking at that one transaction. We're not interested in making a sale. We're interested in building a relationship.
Don't wait. William Noble has the largest inventory in the Southwest of precious and rare jewelry, and they're offering special pricing during their grand reopening in Highland Park Village next to Ralph Lauren. Call 214-526-3890 for an appointment, or visit William Noble in Highland Park Village next to Ralph Lauren. There's never been a better time to visit during their grand reopening sale. WilliamNoble.com.
Ready and reliable, anytime, night or day. When your plumbing's got problems or your drains are clogged, that's when you need AAA. You go to AAA-auger.com.
Are you concerned about high water bills this summer? Call the professional plumbers at AAA Auger Plumbing Services for a free home evaluation, where there's never a charge for coming out and no extra charge for nights, weekends, or holidays.
August is Coat Drive Month. AAA Auger is proud to be actively involved in our local communities and has teamed up with Austin Street Center to collect used coats and jackets for the less fortunate. Right now, donate any unwanted or unneeded coat or jacket and receive $25 off of any service. Offer not valid with other coupons or discounts. So if you need a plumber, fast, call 877-999-1979. License M37445.
When your plumbing's got problems or your drains are clogged, go to AAA-auger.com.
Listen to what Jeff says about Andro 400.
This product is so much better than even some of the advertisements. This changed every aspect of my life. I was a 40 waist, and with the Andro 400, I'm down to 36. I'm 54 years old, and people have said to me that I look better than I ever have, and that I look like I'm in my early 40s. Hands down, I'm in the best shape of my life, and I'm telling you, it's the Andro. People immediately notice the burst of energy, my skin, my energy, plus the weight loss, the toning of the body, and the increased strength and endurance that I have in the gym. Where I was and where I am now, night and day. And Andro 400 has made the difference. My customers, my friends, my family, everybody's noticing the difference.
Guys, if you want to lose belly fat, gain energy, strength, and muscle, and look and feel years younger like Jeff, try Andro 400, the safe, natural, and affordable way to boost your testosterone. Go to andro400.com or call 888-400-0435. That's 888-400-0435. Andro400.com.
Hey, remember the mortgage meltdown of 2008? Have you tried to get a mortgage since then and been turned down? Or maybe you haven't even tried because your credit score is stuck at 585 or your tax returns have too many write-offs. Well, Cash Call Mortgage has great news for you. We've just introduced programs for people who've been told no. And what's doubly exciting is that we can solve your mortgage problems with no closing costs, no points, title, escrow, and no fees.
Wait, Cash Call, are you saying you now have credit and income solving mortgages with no closing costs? Are you kidding?
You heard right. A credit or income-solving loan with no closing costs. Call 855-875-CASH, and we'll work with you to solve your mortgage issues. Make the cash call at 855-875-CASH.
First mortgages, Impact Mortgage Corp., DBA Cash Call Mortgage, One City Boulevard, Orange, California, 92868, NMLS 128231. Equal housing lender, not licensed in all states, not available in Washington State. Call 855-657-9910 for licensing, terms, and restrictions.
That's 855-875-CASH.
Do you have low back or neck pain? Does it run down your arms or your legs? Do you have a bulging or herniated disc degeneration, or spinal arthritis? Even worse, have you been told you need back surgery or injections? If you answered yes, then please listen to what I have to say. My name is Dr. Chad Vines, DC, at Genesis Back and Neck, and I use the most advanced spinal decompression system available, the DRX 9000, to correct back problems just like yours. We don't use addictive drugs, and we don't use any type of dangerous, invasive surgery for these problems. Spinal decompression is safe, FDA cleared, and it's not painful, and has about an 86% success rate. We accept most insurances, and your first visit will be at no charge. You will sit down and visit with me personally until I've answered all of your questions. And if you're a candidate for decompression, you can try out the treatment all at no charge to you. So if you're ready to not hurt anymore and don't want to have surgery, call me at 817-328-1922. That's 817-328-1922, or online at mylowback.com.
660 AM. 660 AM. The Answer. 660 AM. TheAnswer.com. The truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. The Wells Report on 660 AM. The Answer.
You are listening to the Wells Report. John David Wells with Congressman Pete Sessions. We have about a half an hour. We got a half an hour left in this Townhall Meeting, where you can call and ask any question that you want to ask of Congressman Pete Sessions, Texas 32nd. We've been going through some of the things. One of the things that I've learned from the congressman is that they play chess up there. They don't play checkers. And we're still seeing the president trying to play checkers. And there are a lot of moving pieces that have to be you have to organize this stuff. It's like the Rules Committee. You can't just throw a bill out there for a vote. You have to make sure that everybody understands just exactly what circumstances these are going to be going. The president
and the ramifications of them.
Yes, and the president isn't necessarily working his way through to be able to. He hasn't learned how to engineer his legislative solutions through Congress yet.
And he does not have men and women who know representing him who have defined this.
This is part of electing a populist. Yes, we get the guy we want, but does he know the ins and outs? More with Congressman Pete Sessions coming up. This is the Wells Report on 660 AM The Answer.
Hey, it's Mark Davis from my friends at Good Feet. And yes, the business is called Good Feet, and they take care of your feet. But in so doing, they take care of foot pain and knee pain and hip pain, even back pain, because it can all be related to your feet and not having the right kind of arch support. Well, the Good Feet stores in DFW, Fort Worth, Plano, South Lake, and Waco, those Good Feet stores are America's arch support experts. Your shoes don't automatically know how much arch support you need. And when I have my Good Feet inserts in my work shoes, in my workout shoes, in my comfy shoes, in my dress shoes, they all feel great. I'm working better, walking better, living life, loving life, because my feet don't hurt. Foot pain, knee pain, hip pain, back pain, they can help with all of these at the Good Feet stores. And they're in Fort Worth, Plano, South Lake, and Waco. And in Fort Worth and South Lake and Waco, they're open Sundays, noon to 5. So learn all about the hours and all the locations at goodfeetdfw.com. Get out of pain today. Goodfeetdfw.com. That's goodfeetdfw.com.
When you have sleep apnea, traveling can be a real drag because you have to drag your big, bulky home CPAP device with you everywhere you go. But not anymore. Now you can travel easily and sleep comfortably anywhere thanks to Transcend, the world's very first mini CPAP. And right now, you can try Transcend absolutely risk-free for 10 restful nights. So call now, 1-800-400-1841. Our smallest and most advanced portable design ever, Transcend is as small as a soda can and weighs less than a pound. You can even add a battery that's as tiny as a deck of cards. Transcend is so incredibly small and light, you can easily fit it in your briefcase or purse to use anywhere you go. It's FAA compliant too, so you can even sleep comfortably while flying. Now you can enjoy the freedom to sleep comfortably anywhere. But don't delay. To receive your 10-night in-home trial, call minicpap.com now, 1-800-400-1841. Again, that's 1-800-400-1841.
If you've been mattress shopping lately, you know that it can be extremely frustrating. So what's the best mattress in Dallas-Fort Worth? It's the Sovereign European Sleep System. Most people who buy a mattress at Sovereign will drive past between 4 and 22 big box mattress stores. Think about that. They drove past 4 other mattress stores to shop at Sovereign European Sleep Systems. Why? It's simply a better bed. A healthier, more durable, more comfortable mattress at a very reasonable price. Sovereign European Sleep Systems in Dallas and Southlake. Learn more at sovn.com.
This is 660 AM, The Answer. A service of Salem Media Group on the NASDAQ as SALM, KSKY, Balch Springs, Dallas, Fort Worth. 660 AM, The Answer.
This is a Fox News Alert. I'm Lisa Lacera. President Trump laying out the plan for how to proceed in Afghanistan.
My original instinct was to pull out. And historically, I like following my instincts. But all my life, I've heard that decisions are much different when you sit behind the desk in the Oval Office.
He says he studied the issue from every angle.
Our nation must seek an honorable and enduring outcome worthy of the tremendous sacrifices that have been made, especially the sacrifices of lives.
And putting Pakistan on notice.
It is time for Pakistan to demonstrate its commitment to civilization, order, and to peace.
The president saying the troops will fight to win. This is a Fox News Alert.
660 AM, The Answer.
Hello, Howard Garrett, the Dirt Doctor here. I got a little show on the weekends, Sunday morning, and it's about natural organic gardening. We talk about landscaping and pest control. We talk about tree care. We talk about specific pest control on some things where other people say there are no solutions. Things like oak wilt, rose rosette, crepe myrtle bark scale, and fungal canker on Italian cypress. Join me every Sunday morning, 8 to 11, right here on 660 AM, The Answer.
People call us when they just don't want to waste any more time living out an uncertain financial future.
Jerry Bailey and Dottie Schaefer of the Retirement Hour.
People often make serious mistakes when they inherit money or when they move money around from one account to another. Call us first and keep your money safe.
For over 30 years, we've helped Texas families just like yours eliminate the risk in retirement. The sooner you call, the safer your options.
Call us today for your free, no-obligation retirement review in our Dallas or our Fort Worth office.
The future is coming. When it's your last day in the office, enjoy peace of mind knowing you won't be blindsided in retirement. 800-550-6750.
Protect and grow with us. Local relationship, local accountability.
Don't run out of money before you run out of time. Call Jerry and Dottie for your free no-obligation consultation. 800-550-6750. Learn more at theretirementhour.com. 800-550-6750.
Have you racked up more than $10,000 in credit card debt? Are you barely getting by making minimum payments? You should know the credit card companies are tricking you into thinking there's no way out. Credit card companies would rather you didn't know that there are ways you can become debt-free and you don't have to pay the entire amount you owe. There are debt relief programs that help people like you escape overwhelming credit card debt. National Debt Relief has helped tens of thousands of people just like you reduce more than $500 million of debt. National Debt Relief has helped so many people. They're A+ rated by the Better Business Bureau. You don't have to declare bankruptcy or take out a consolidation loan. You have the right to settle your debt for a mere fraction of what you owe. Reduce a portion of your debt now. Call National Debt Relief at 800-518-4020. 800-518-4020. That's 800-518-4020.
Hi, I'm Jeff Stewart with Reliant Air Conditioning. Let's talk about AC service techs that are really just salesmen in disguise. Most companies use their service techs to sell new equipment on service calls, and the more equipment they sell, the more commission they make. But would you buy a new car from your mechanic? The fact is, the guy you're trusting to repair your system actually makes more money if he can sell you a new one. At Reliant Air Conditioning, you get a certified service technician, not a salesman. Our techs don't work on commission, and they don't sell equipment. If you need a new system, now you can combine manufacturer and utility rebates to save over $5,000 on a brand new system that can cut your electric bill in half. So call 2 other companies first, and then call Reliant Air Conditioning and see how we've been gimmick-free since '83. Our number's 877-YOUR-HERO. That's 877-YOUR-HERO or ReliantAirConditioning.com.
Reliant Air Conditioning. Call 877-YOUR-HERO.
Cancellation fee may apply, subject to eligibility. Not available in Alaska, Missouri, and Washington. Waiting period and deductible apply. Coverage provided and administered by Warrantech Corporation or its affiliates. Not affiliated with any manufacturer dealership. Visit TocoWarranty.com for complete terms and conditions. You look stressed.
My car broke down. I just got a quote for the repair. I don't have that kind of money.
You don't have a vehicle service contract from Toco?
What's that?
Well, you know how drivers have auto insurance to protect against accidents? Well, this is a monthly service contract that protects against costly repairs. If it's covered in your policy, they pay. When my transmission and air conditioner broke, the Toco plan paid the whole thing. They dealt with the licensed mechanic, took care of the bill. They even paid for my car rental. And all Toco plans are backed by an AmTrust financial insurance carrier.
It must be expensive.
Not at all. There wasn't even a down payment, and I've already saved hundreds of dollars on repairs, not to mention the stress.
Protect yourself from the expense and stress of unexpected repairs. Call today for your free quotes. 800-276-6124. That's 800-276-6124. 800-276-6124.
At Simple Sleep Services, our team of doctors are experts in providing the least invasive treatment for snoring and sleep apnea. A custom-fit, comfortable solution that you simply pop in before bed each night and wake up feeling refreshed. And it's covered by medical insurance. We are the most experienced team in the nation providing our treatment, and your diagnosis will be from a board-certified sleep physician using today's latest technology. Visit simplesleepservices.com or call 469-685-1700. No CPAP, no surgery, no implants, just simple sleep.
Ransomware is software that can infiltrate your business through email, enabling cyber criminals to hijack sensitive information as ransom for your own data's release. Leveraging Barracuda email security with advanced threat detection can stop a ransomware attack in its tracks. As an added measure, Barracuda Backup allows you to recover your data without having to surrender to extortion. Crime doesn't pay when you protect your business data with Barracuda. Go to barracuda.com/ransomware to learn more.
660 AM, The Answer. 660 AM, TheAnswer.com. Is anybody out there paying attention to what's going on in this country, in this state, and in this city? We know one man who is. You got questions? He's got answers. This is The Wells Report with John David Wells on 660 AM, The Answer.
You are listening to The Wells Report. My name is John David Wells. The things you learn when you sit around with Congressman Pete Sessions from the Texas 32nd. He is the chairman of the House Rules Committee. That means that he gets to see everything just before everything gets voted on. He sees it, he deals with it, he puts together the rules and so on and so forth about how the things are going to be taken care of. He's right on top of everything, and it is a master's class. See, this is the one thing that drives me crazy. I was there at your town hall meeting a while back, and it was a waste of everyone's time, including the people that were there trying to figure stuff out. Sitting next to you is a master's class in government, not politics. Government. Yeah. There are politics involved in this. Yes, I get it. And you have to be able to, just like we were discussing a moment ago, the president has to set a course, and you have to find a way to sail that course together so that when you get to the end of it, he doesn't say something like, oh, but that bill was mean. That was a mistake. I said that right here on this microphone. And I'm going, what did he say that for? He just got everybody lined up and so on and so on. And then he castigated everything that the House had just done. Doesn't surprise me that the guys are going, okay, what's he going to do next? And that's basically where we find ourselves. Congressman Pete Sessions, if you have a question, and a question only, we're not going to descend into shouting matches, arguments, so on and so forth.
No, that is no good.
Ask
we
a question.
Aim forward. You bet.
Ask a question. It doesn't matter what it is. He'll answer it. 866-660-5759. Jim in Prosper, what is your question for Congressman Pete Sessions?
Hi, I'm struggling to understand which, in my mind, laws or rules that Congress and the federal government have to follow. It's my understanding.
Go ahead and ask your question.
Yes, sir. It's my understanding that Obamacare does not affect our federal government employees, and I wanted to know if that's true.
It does affect some of the employees, but it doesn't necessarily affect the members and the staff members in Congress. unless the Congress people have decided to follow Obamacare.
Well, let me see if I can answer his question.
Ahead,
I appreciate your help.
I'm sorry. I'll be quiet now.
The bottom line is that all federal employees are on the federal health care benefit package, except members of Congress, meaning the House and the Senate. And they are on either private that they choose. Some members are older, they're on Medicare, and some members are on, because they work for states, they chose their own states.
Okay.
The vast number are on what is called Obamacare. What is Obamacare? It is twice as expensive, and the deductibles are twice what they were, and no other government employees are on it. And for those of you who think you want to get on Obamacare, it's not a good deal. Members of Congress get their health care out of the Washington, D.C. area, which means, as you know, the reason why it's twice as expensive is because we are paying for people in Washington who cannot afford it. And there's a provision in the bill that says every one of these areas have to be sound from a financial perspective, and that's why they have to raise the prices. So we're paying for Washington, D.C. people that are not on there. So we're actually paying twice what we pay.
Wow.
And I'll let the gentleman have an update, have a follow-up, but that's a fact.
Yeah.
So members of Congress are on Obamacare.
Okay. Let me get to Forrest in Gun Barrel City, Texas. What's your question?
Oh, they shoot straight there.
They sure do. Forrest, what you got?
Hi, thanks for taking my call. Just in fairness, because you're using that word a lot tonight, in fairness to the tens of millions of people who voted for Donald Trump and therefore voted for change, significant change, what letter grade would you give, honestly, this Congress for the first 7 months, and why?
I would say that we are a C minus. I would say that what we have done is we have done the things which were necessary. Before President Obama left on January the 10th, he released a number of what are called midnight rules. He did that in November. He did that in December. He did that in January. And we in the House had a time frame where we had to go and reassess every one of these, look at the intent, figure it out, and then hold a hearing, decide what we were going to do. We took 26 of those, I believe, maybe 13. We have 26, but we took a huge number of those, and every week held a hearing at the Rules Committee and defined what it was and tried to understand it and then stopped it. We have taken and will take every single appropriations bill and do all those hearings and get those ready to go. And we've already voted on 4 of them. And we're doing what we should do on time. What we have not done is effectively done, even though we passed one, a health care bill. And so I'd like this gentleman to know, I don't mind being to say Congress, but when you say the House of Representatives, that's what we have the responsibility for. There are 226 pieces of legislation right now waiting in the Senate for the Senate to do. And brother, they have not done what I'm not a senator, but I do not want to go through this 60 vote cloture. And what I would do is I would move the cots in and say, we're going to vote. We're going to break any of the filibusters if you do not like what we're proposing. But that's the Senate. The House has performed C minus. But we have performed.
You have. And I've got to tell you, there'd be an awful lot of nuclear optioning if I had anything to do with what was going on in the Senate. I know it's probably something that I know it's probably something that a lot of people would look at and say, well, there are pluses and minuses because, you've taught me a lot about this.
Fine, you can keep the 60 votes, but let's go bust that thing up.
Yeah, let's make them have to walk
You
the walk.
betcha. By the way, the gentleman from Gun Barrel City, I used to represent Gun Barrel City. They shoot straight and they're great down in Henderson County.
There you have it. Rick in Dallas, thanks very much for joining us. What is your question and question only for Congressman Pete Sessions?
Yes, Congressman, I am a constituent, a longtime voter and supporter of you. My question for you is very simple. When you run, each and every time you run on a very conservative agenda. And yet that conservatism, that leadership seems to disappear as you take a run back towards the middle, whether it be on social media, whether it be on your website. We do not see that leadership from you and the other leaders in Congress. I don't always agree with Ted Cruz, but I actually admire
go ahead
the
and
fact
ask
that he is always principled and he's out and about.
Go ahead and ask your question,
Why
Rick.
are y'all afraid to run to the middle?
Okay, they're trying to figure out, what are the things. I think he's got a couple of things wrong. What do you think?
Well, I hate to say this, but you can go look at almost any major thing. 2 points. The person who has voted for more more reduced spending of any member of Congress is Pete Sessions. I voted to reduce more spending than any member of Congress. Secondly, a huge number of these websites, I'm considered the third most conservative member of Congress. Now, let me say something here. There are a lot of things I don't talk about. I am absolutely for the right to keep and bear arms, but I don't stand up and talk about a lot of that in my social media. I just don't. But I am an A+, one of 2 A+. So my work stood on its own. What I do talk about are the things that we get done. And I'm sorry this gentleman doesn't see that. But, oh, by the way, generally speaking, what happens is you talk about things that people want you to talk about, and that's jobs and job creation, stopping spending, getting in the way of runaway government and inefficiencies that happen. And we are completely flush to talk about those issues. And we talk about the private sector and the free enterprise system, and people back home, the people in the military. That's what I talk about.
Yeah.
But my votes clearly are the most conservative.
And you had just brought up something a moment ago in the Rules Committee. You make things disappear like these midnight rules and so on and so forth that President Obama wanted to inflict on us.
Yeah.
And so these are things that don't get a lot of
here's
don't get talked
another
about.
one. The border wall.
Yeah.
$1.6 billion was not going to be in there, and I made sure it was in the bill. It was in the bill, not the Homeland Security bill. It was in the bill because we needed to make sure it was there. But the president actually has not completely defined what he's after. He thinks he wants that in the infrastructure package. We needed it now.
Yeah.
We needed 23 miles on the southern border, 18 miles in the Middle Valley, and 14 miles to be reinforced. That would be in California. But here's what we also needed: money for an architectural study to tell us how to do it.
Exactly.
So we did this and then told the president, here's what we'd like to do. And he said, great, please do it. And I did it.
866-660-5759. If you have a question and a question only for Congressman Pete Sessions, now's the chance. This is the kind of town hall meeting where you actually get to hear the answers. Brian in Dallas, thanks for joining us. Welcome to the Wells Report. What is your question for Pete Sessions?
Thank you, gentlemen. And Congressman, you are my congressman. I'd like to know if you consider health care a right. And I clarify that by the First Amendment. I have the right to free speech, but nobody has to listen and nobody has to give me a megaphone. My right to bear arms doesn't require anybody to give me arms, but the right to health care would require a doctor to give me his services or a hospital to give me their services as a gift, or somebody has to pay for it. So is it a right?
Well, there are times when we have lost the majority. And people create things that I would be completely opposed to. And there are a huge number of laws that are already on the books. And one of them is called EMTALA. This gentleman, I'm sure, knows about it. And it is a requirement that if a person comes to your hospital, you must render aid to them so that they are sustained.
Without necessarily expecting to be paid.
Without expecting that.
Yeah.
We also have, going back to World War II, benefits that are allowed that are non-taxable. I don't know whether the gentleman likes that or not, but it is something that is allowed in law. And then we've got things where I want to be able to get the insurance that only I want to get and call it my fair right. But today, the laws of this country don't allow that, and it's called Obamacare. And so we need to do away with these provisions that are onerous, but we do need good health care.
You're listening to the Wells Report. Pete Sessions, our guest, for another 10 minutes. Join us if you have a question, 866-660-5759. This is the Wells Report.
If you've got your sights set on a trip this year, why not celebrate Jerusalem's 50th anniversary in Israel with Dennis Prager, Mike Gallagher, and other 660 AM The Answer listeners? Stand with Israel and explore all that it has to offer. From modern urban and political vitality to historic and ancient landmarks you cannot find anywhere else. This October 22nd through November 1st, come see the majesty of the Mediterranean coastline, friendly cosmopolitan cities, and the intercultural dynamics of Israel. With a cultural past that reaches back even before recorded history, make your plans now to explore Israel's sites like the Golan Heights, the Western Wall, Jerusalem, and much more. You've read and heard about these places for years. Now come and visit them for yourself. Stand with Israel this October 22nd through November the 1st. Time is running out to book your trip. For affordable prices and all-inclusive details, visit 660amtheanswer.com. That's 660amtheanswer.com to register.
We finally have the home of our dreams, but it wasn't because we purchased the home of our dreams. It's because we purchased an ordinary home and hired the design experts at Adair's Fine Floors to make it extraordinary. From our complete bath renovation all the way to our sparkling new quartz countertops in our kitchen. Adair's Fine Floors does so much more than just floors. At Adair's, you'll find granite and quartz countertops, sinks, blinds, shutters, rugs, as well as a huge selection of wood, tile, carpet, and vinyl flooring. Adair's and their skilled installers will make sure your project will go as smoothly as possible from start to finish. The hardest decision you'll have to make is choosing from such a wide range of choices.
Stop by their showroom at the corner of Abrams and Royal in Lake Highlands and let them help you take your home from ordinary to extraordinary. Call 214-503-1324. That's 214-503-1324 or visit their website at adairsfloors.com. That's adairsfloors.com.
Hey, it's Mark Davis for my friends at Zero Res. They've been cleaning my carpets for years, and now they do a great job on hardwood floors. You know why we love hardwood floors? Because of the way they look when they are clean. But you can't neglect them. The finish can wear through. You can have loss of stain color, damage to the actual wood, and that gets you into restoration and all kinds of other things. Let's keep the floors clean and get them well taken care of with my friends at Zero Res on the following Mark Davis Show special. 214-37-CLEAN, 214-37-CLEAN. You get them to clean your hardwood floors, and they'll do a room of carpet cleaning for free. 214-37-CLEAN. You cut that deal right now. And go to ZeroResDFW.com, ZeroRez, ZeroResDFW.com, and click the Wood Floors tab and see the befores and afters and see what great beauty you can get out of your hardwood floors. ZeroRez, ZeroRez, ZeroResDFW.com, 214-37-CLEAN. Let them do the hardwoods. They'll do a room of carpet free. 214-37-CLEAN or ZeroResDFW.com.
Need a new CPAP? Then we need you. We're CPAP.com, and we carry the world's best CPAP machines, including top-of-the-line ResMed equipment. To move inventory, we're selling our ResMed AirStart machines at a fraction of the price of similar machines. Call now and ask for one of these overstocked CPAPs. We'll even provide free next-day air shipping on your ResMed machine order, so you get it fast. Call 1-800-900-6135. The best part? No insurance needed. Our CPAPs are priced so low they can even cost less than your copay and deductible through insurance. CPAP.com has shipped over 1 million orders and has everything you need to treat sleep apnea. With no retail overhead or costly middlemen, we're the best way to get comfortable, effective sleep apnea equipment at incredibly low prices. Again, CPAP.com is overstocked on ResMed AirStart CPAPs and offering free next-day air shipping on these devices. Call now for these great deals and others. Call 1-800-900-6135. If lines are busy, please try again. That's 1-800-900-6135.
Do you trust our economy? How about our banking system? Our president has stated we are sitting on a bubble right now, and that when the Fed raises interest rates, bad things are going to happen. Well, the Fed is raising rates here and now. There has never been a better time to turn your IRA or 401k into physical gold or silver with GSI Exchange. Call 833-GSI-GOLD. GSI Exchange can make this happen fast, and it's money you control, not the big banks. 833-GSI-GOLD. Ask about our bank failure survival guide and learn how your qualified IRA transfer can get you $1,500 in free physical gold or silver delivered right to your home. GSI Exchange has an A+ rating with the Better Business Bureau. Call GSI Exchange at 833-GSI-GOLD. That's 833-474-4653. Or visit us on the web at gsi.gold. Call GSI Exchange at 833-GSI-GOLD.
660 AM, The Answer. The Wells Report, must-hear radio on 660 AM, The Answer.
You are listening to the Wells Report. Our telephone number, 866-660-5759. He is the congressman from the Texas 32nd. We're going to try to get through as many of these questions as we possibly can. Got a full board, so let's jump into these quick answers, or quick questions, quick answers, and let's get to Carl in Allen, Texas. Carl, thanks for joining us. What's your question for Pete Sessions?
Yes, sir. Thank you very much for taking my call. I want to preface this as
Please hurry. Go ahead and ask your question.
Yes, sir. As a 20-year Navy veteran and a clank owner on board USS Lake Champlain, what are we doing to address the apparent lack of training and seamanship capabilities that is being exhibited by our sailors right now?
That is a great question.
Well, my son is out in Pearl with the Navy, and he is 20 years old. A lot of our guys are younger guys. When we watched a huge number of people exit from the military, are literally middle grade. I mean, a whole bunch of people are out. What are we doing? I'm counting on, we're putting $70 billion more in. We're plussing up, so to speak, $70 billion, taking it out of other places. Hadn't happened yet, but this is what the House is going to vote on and do. But the gentleman makes a point. We've seen 4 major wrecks from the Navy. We've seen planes drop out of the sky. Sir, I'm with you, and it's up to the military, and we got to give them the money, the training, and the manpower to do it.
Let me get to Sean in Garland, Texas. Sean, you get the last question for Congressman Pete Sessions. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you very much. Mr. Sessions, I would like to know if you support federal reciprocity, and if so or if not, do you think there's a chance of it passing?
This is a chance for you to talk about the Second Amendment, which you normally don't do.
I have signed on to every bill for 20 years. I'm one of 2 or 3 A+ members of the National Rifle Association. They rate me, and I will move forward those bills every single time we can, and we should, can, and do. The shooting of one of my colleagues, Steve Scalise, who was on a conference call we had today. His voice was strong.
Good.
I believe we are better when we have the right to keep and bear arms. I believe I have the God-given right to protect myself. By golly, I'm not just for myself. I'm for all of us.
Indeed. Congressman Pete Sessions, it's always a pleasure. I've said this once already tonight. I'll say it again. It's a master's class in government to listen to you talk about this government. Mm-hmm. As we finish up this conversation, the minute or so we have left, talk to us about if you could fix one thing in the next 30 days, what would it be, and how could you get it done?
healthcare. I would apply what we did almost to a T with our healthcare bill, but change the major component, and that is instead of allowing the tax credit to go for individual policies which are failing us, I would move everything to a group policy. Group policies work. Healthcare that, just like business has, is better, faster, cheaper, and we as Republicans have better ideas, but we did not use our best ideas. We did it to save money, and that's a mistake.
It's always a pleasure to have you. Thank you very much for coming by. Thank you for spending over an hour with us today, and we'd love to have you again whenever you can.
Thank you. God bless you.
Congressman Pete Sessions joining us on the Wells Report here on 660 AM The Answer. The President of the United States, on his 213th day of his presidency, spoke to the nation for the first time. We'll pick up that conversation as we continue tonight toward midnight on 660 AM The Answer. This is the Wells Report.
Varicose and spider veins. What a gift from my mom. She had them and I got them. Not only are they uncomfortable and sometimes painful, but I stopped wearing shorts and skirts because I was embarrassed and hated the way my legs looked. So I went to Vein Clinics of America. The procedure took about an hour and I was right back to work. What they're doing these days with lasers and minimally invasive technologies is unbelievable. The staff made me feel so comfortable, and the results, well, even my husband noticed. Vein Clinics of America has been treating vein disease for over 35 years. They're the largest and most experienced in the U.S. Look, I've been doing the commercials for vein clinics for years because I believe in them, and you can trust them too. The best part was my insurance covered the procedure. So stop hiding your legs this summer. There's no reason to suffer any longer. Call Vein Clinics of America now for your free fast-track consultation. Call 800-780-1975. 800-780-1975. That's 800-780-1975.
If you're not incorporated and you're a truck driver, a cafe owner, a construction contractor, a real estate agent, a consultant, or any small business owner, then you are at risk. If someone sues and you're not incorporated, you could lose everything. Your home, your car, even your personal life savings. That's why Incorporate.com is now giving away a free incorporation toolkit to all business owners, including exclusive information on how to start and grow your business. For your free incorporation toolkit, call now. 1-800-600-8551. Incorporation is the shield that protects your personal assets. Without it, you could lose everything. That's why at Incorporate.com, they just make incorporating or forming an LLC quick and easy. They don't provide legal or financial advice. So if you're a personal trainer, a travel agent, or run a tech startup or any small business, call now for your free incorporation toolkit. They're giving them away for free at 1-800-600-8551. That's 1-800-600-8551.
Message and data rates may apply.
Attention, it is illegal to text and drive. So if you're experiencing hair loss and you want a permanent solution, please pull over now, because an incredible offer that could give you your hair back is just one text away. Bosley is the world's most experienced hair restoration expert, always pioneering the latest technology. And now we're giving everyone who texts GROW to 543-543. An absolutely free information kit that reveals just how easy and affordable this permanent solution really is. Don't wait. When you text GROW to 543-543, we'll also give you a gift card for $250 off. Millions of men and women have come to Bosley for a permanent solution to hair loss. So pull over now and see for yourself how great your hair could look with an absolutely free information kit. Text GROW to 543-543. Plus, get a free gift card. This amazing offer is just one text away. GROW to 543-543.
Message and data rates may apply. Please don't text while driving.
Your logo is your brand, your reputation. It's your most valuable asset. So what's the best thing to do with it? Give it away. When the experts at 4imprint put your logo on the right promotional products, giving those items away can make a lasting impression, empower your brand, and attract new customers. In fact, we'll prove it by revealing the top 3 promotional items for driving new customers absolutely free. Simply text the keyword GIVE to 642-642. We don't just print your logo. We're here to help you every step of the way. The 4imprint team can make your logo shine on your choice of thousands of promotional items, all delivered on time at great prices with free art assistance and outstanding customer service that's second to none. Want to turn your logo into profit? Give it away. Discover the top 3 promotional items for driving new customers absolutely free by texting GIVE to 642-642. That's GIVE to 642-642.
For many businesses, hiring is tough. You want access to highly qualified candidates fast, and you don't want to sign a long-term contract or pay upfront fees. That's why you need Indeed.com, delivering 6 times more hires than any other job site, according to independent research. Indeed is offering new users a $50 credit to give their first job post premium visibility as a sponsored job. Redeem this offer at Indeed.com/credit. That's Indeed.com/credit. Terms, conditions, and quality standards apply.
Daddy, where do babies come from?
Honey?
Mommy went to the store.
Oh, well, you see, there's a mommy and a daddy, right?
Right.
And see, when they call Geico, they could save a bunch of money on car insurance.
Oh, really? And that makes them happy?
Yes, that makes them very happy.
That's good.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad we could have this talk, sunshine.
Geico, because saving 15% or more on car insurance is always a great answer.
Hey, it's Flo, and this is my impression of a less than ideal job candidate. Is the owner here? Oh, you're the owner, whatever. So I can only work Monday through Wednesday sometimes, and I gotta get out at 2 p.m. sharp. Band practice, you know? We're big on covers, like how Progressive covers both businesses and commercial auto. Anyway, sorry I'm late, but being late's sort of my thing.
All the coverage your business needs at progressivecommercial.com.
Resume? Nah, I don't really do those. I just like to come in and let my personality shine.
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
Coffee, please.
Phyllis, what's that spring in your step? Are you in love?
In love with Dr. Scholl's custom fit orthotic inserts. My feet feel fantastic.
What?
The Dr. Scholl's custom fit orthotic kiosk at Walmart. It measures and analyzes your feet, then recommends the custom fit orthotic that's best for you.
Sounds expensive.
No way. They're a great deal.
Hey, get that guy his coffee. I'm off to Walmart.
Go to walmart.com and search Dr. Scholl's Custom Fit Orthotics for a kiosk nearest you. Savings versus other custom orthotics insert brands sold at retail.
As a Major League Baseball umpire for over 30 years, I've learned focus is everything. That's why I switched to a complete multivitamin with more. Only One A Day Men's 50+ Advantage has both ginkgo for memory and concentration, plus support for heart health. Centrum can't give you all that. And in this game, I want every advantage.
One A Day Men's 50+ Advantage, the official multivitamin of Major League Baseball.
Most people don't like to talk in the morning. At Subway, we get that. Want a tasty breakfast without the jibber jabber? Just point. Point at the jalapenos, fresh tomatoes, Black Forest ham, anything you want in your breakfast sandwich. It's easy. We'll make it for you. Like the Western Egg White Muffin Melt or the double bacon and cheese omelet on flatbread. Get a freshly brewed Seattle's best coffee too. Get the point? Hurry in and let us build your better breakfast today. Subway. Eat fresh.
Products may vary, may be available from opening to 11 a.m. at participating restaurants.
If you've got questions, we've got answers. 660 AM. The Answer. If it's important to you, it's on the Wells Report with John David Wells on 660 AM. The Answer.
You are listening to the Wells Report. I want to thank Congressman Pete Sessions, and I want to thank everybody that called us on the telephone and asked questions of Congressman Pete Sessions. I know that it's, you know, when you've got somebody like Congressman Sessions on the radio, you get an hour and you want 2. You get 2 hours and you want 4. It's like the more you open these subjects up, the more you learn. Which is why, and if you are someone that takes part in these town hall meetings, you gotta pass the word to everybody. It is not a community shouting match with your representative. It cannot be. If you're there yelling at Pete Sessions, you're going to miss his answer. If you miss his answer, you don't see the huge amount of depth that is involved in the issues of these questions that are being asked. I'll give you an example. He drew a cartoon for me. I mentioned it. He says he's finally learned how to communicate with me most effectively. And the way you communicate with me the most effectively is to draw a cartoon for me. He said, okay, so you want a border wall between Mexico and the United States. And he drew a picture of the river. And he put a T for Texas on the north side, M for Mexico on the south side. He goes, okay, where do you build a wall? And I said, well, on our side. And he goes, then you lose access to the river. Which is true. Can you build it on the Mexico side? No. Do you build it in the middle of the river? Can't. So where do you build a wall? Now, the president hasn't said how he wants that to be. He just wants a wall. He wants a big, beautiful wall. Well, that's fine. But now what you have to do is you have to come up with a way to build it and where to build it. I am you know me, I'm a big fan of the big, dumb concrete wall. But that does keep you away from the Rio Grande in Texas. So it's not as simple as you might think. You know, I brought up to the fact that in southern Arizona, there are places where Americans are asked not to go because of drug operations, cartel operations going on in southern Arizona, on our side of the border. What's that going to take? Well, I'll tell you, I was there when the border of the United States between Mexico and Texas was completely controlled. Not just completely controlled, but it was managed. It was brilliantly managed by the people that I was working for. Who were they? Well, they were the United States Army and the Texas National Guard and the Texas Air National Guard and the Texas State Guard. And they were managing that border beautifully, and nothing was getting across. Not people, not contraband, and if it did get across, it was arrested and confiscated. Human trafficking, which is, okay, so we talk about tons of marijuana coming across the border. We talk about, but not during Operation Strong Safety. We talk about tons of crystal meth coming from China and going across the border, but not during Operation Strong Safety. We are going to have to make an investment in that wall. The wall is going to have to be a lot of different things. But whatever that wall is, it cannot be appropriated against. In other words, you can't take money away so that suddenly there are not enough people on the wall. You got to be willing to man that border, and you've got to be willing to do the things necessary. Okay, well, where does the money come from? Let's just pick a number out of the sky. Let's say $50 billion. Okay, so those people who say do not pass this debt increase, this debt limit increase bill that's coming up, when they come back, they got to deal with a debt limit increase. Don't pass that. Well, how do you build the wall if you don't pass that? At some point, we're going to have an architect go in there, and we're going to have some guys that have a lot of understanding about access and so on and so forth, because you're going to want to get to the border eventually. You're going to want to get to the Rio Grande eventually. And that big dumb concrete wall of mine has got to have some breaks in it that are close enough so that people don't have to drive 50 miles to get to one. But they have to be there's got to be willing to be able to close that portal open, keep that portal closed and keep it secure, which means people. Now, I realize the federal government spends an unbelievable amount of money on stuff we don't want. We do have to move money around. But this is not as simple as it looks. I spend a lot of time coming up with answers. I spend a lot of time coming up with solutions and policies, et cetera, et cetera. Because I think about this stuff all the time. But you notice I don't come up with the typical bromide of, okay, big dumb concrete wall. I know that's what I want, but is it possible? Not so sure. And we have to come up with a solution. If we don't come up with a solution, then we waste $50 billion. We don't have it to waste. If we're going to spend money in this country, it's going to largely be based on debt. If we're going to spend money largely based on debt, we've got to get something for our money. It's got to pay dividends to pay for itself. These are the things we have to do. When you've got two separate, disparate political parties, one that wants to see a socialist America, one that wants to see a free enterprise capitalist America, the same fight that was between the Russians, the Soviet Union, and the United States of America in the 50s, the 40s, the 50s, the 60s, the 70s, and the 80s, that same fight is occurring right in the hallways of Congress. There was a time when the Democrat Party was not an existential threat to the United States of America. That is not the party that we have now. The party that we have now, Democrats being voted into office, are people like Bernie Sanders. Those people. Elizabeth Warren. We have people like that. They are socialists, existential threats to the way of life of the United States of America. They are putting things out there that, well, they want Medicare for everybody. Oh, that's joyous. See, Medicare for everybody. You see, Medicare comes with things like, oh, the donut hole. Because there isn't enough money to actually make it work. You think we've got debt problems now? Just put Medicare for all out there. I can make a strong argument that the donut hole killed my mother. I don't want that for everybody in the United States, but Elizabeth Warren does. Bernie Sanders does. If you read the paper, Nancy Pelosi does. She wants Medicare for all, single-payer system from the government of the United States. Why? Because we happen to have an excess population that we need to get rid of? I mean, when you start thinking about it, the Veterans Administration medical system killed 307,000 American veterans. Sure saved a lot of money for the Veterans Administration, didn't it? Is that what we want for the rest of America? I don't think so. So what we have to do is we have to make this government work for the benefit of the people of the United States. That means we have to be able to go out and purchase what we have to purchase. We have to create a situation where the costs get pushed down, not get pushed up. These are the things that are required. If we don't do that, then we will all suffer. So let me review real fast. When somebody like Congressman Pete Sessions shows up for a town hall meeting, make sure that the people standing there, the people that are in that auditorium, quiet down and listen to the man speak. Listen to what he has to say. I'll venture that you'll hear a lot of things that you really like. If you do, that's thing number one. Thing number two, this stuff is not as easy as it looks, especially when you've got a Democrat Party out there that wants to destroy the country. They don't like the First Amendment, political correctness. They don't like people being able to worship as they choose, religious freedom. That's what this country was based on, and they don't like it. They don't like free speech. They want you to be politically correct all the time. I was watching Don Rickles from a Dean Martin roast that played back in the 70s or 80s. I think it was the 70s. The man would have been branded a bigot, and you would never hear from him again if that material hit the air today. So they don't like free speech. They don't like freedom of religion. They don't like the fact that you can defend yourself because we've got the Second Amendment. They don't like the fact that you don't have to testify against yourself. They don't like any of this stuff. They don't like the fact that they have to get a warrant to be able to look down your pants, President Obama. And spying on I think it was like 25 or 26 Associated Press reporters without a warrant, excuse me, and nobody said a word about it? Nobody's done anything about it? We have to do something about the Democrat Party. We have to get these socialist communists out of the Democrat Party. We have to find Democrats who actually believe in America.
Empower Texans.
That's what we have to find. We have to find people in the Democrat Party that actually want America. The free enterprise, capitalist, everyone has an opportunity to succeed beyond their wildest dreams, Democrats. Instead of these Democrats that want to take all your money and tell you how to spend it. So these fights that we have, you wonder why it is that we are all just absolutely as frightened out of our wits as we possibly can be when we cast a vote for president. Well, there's a reason. Because somebody wants to be an American and somebody wants to be a Russian, a Soviet. And we know which party's which. This is the Wells Report. Texas is a conservative state. It's probably one of the reasons why we all live here. Do we want to keep it that way? Do we want this Texas to stay the way it is? Yeah. Hi, I'm John David Wells from the Wells Report. I want to tell you about Empower Texans. Empower Texans does what you need them to do. Help you be informed and engaged as citizens. Michael Quinn Sullivan is a part of all of this. He's been a friend of mine for over a decade, for years. He's been doing the hard work of liberty, fiscal responsibility, and showing Texans how to hold their elected officials accountable. What do you do to take part in this equation? Simple. You go to empowertexans.com and subscribe to their weekly news digest. empowertexans.com and subscribe to their free weekly news digest. Read it every week. It's something that you will learn more about Texas politics in the first issue than you probably learned in the last 10 years. Michael Quinn Sullivan and his folks in the Metroplex, they focus on city, school, and county government. Their Austin offices work on state government issues. Go to empowertexans.com, subscribe to their free weekly news digest. empowertexans.com, empowertexans.com, empowertexans.com. Tell them you heard about it on the Wells Report.
660 AM, The Answer.
The IRS doesn't mess around. If they want your money, they'll take it. They can take your paycheck and bank accounts too, even threaten your home or business. And it's about to get worse. The IRS just hired an army of new tax enforcers. So if you owe back taxes, the smartest thing you can do is call Optima Tax Relief. Optima has access to a special IRS tax assistance program called the Fresh Start Initiative. And their clients that qualify are saving thousands, even tens of thousands. One call starts the process to stop the demand letters, stop aggressive collection actions, and stop that army of new enforcers from targeting you. But don't delay. It's important to act now while you still have options. Optima is A-rated with the Better Business Bureau. Optima has already resolved over $500 million of tax debt for their clients. Get your life back. Call now for your free consultation.
Call 800-711-5743. 800-711-5743. 800-711-5743. Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Hey, it's Mark Davis from my friends at Patriot Mobile. For years, big money has flowed from Big Mobile to support liberal causes like socialized healthcare, liberal candidates like Hillary. That is your monthly phone bill with Big Mobile helping fund the left. Don't stand for it. There's an alternative now. Patriot Mobile, America's only conservative cell phone company. With Patriot Mobile, your money will only be used to support the causes you and your family believe in. Get the same nationwide coverage, same 4G LTE high-speed service. Keep your phone number. 5% of your monthly bill goes specifically to conservative causes and candidates. Switch to Patriot Mobile today. Get the back-to-school special. Unlimited talk, text, data, free Samsung or iPhone, all for a flat fee of $55 a month. Use the promo code BACK2SCHOOL, and they'll also waive your activation fee. 1-800-A-PATRIOT, 1-800-A-PATRIOT, or patriotmobile.com. promo code back to school. 1-800-A-PATRIOT, 1-800-A-PATRIOT, or patriotmobile.com, and the promo code back to school.
Amazing to realize, but it's been almost 2 years I've been talking with you about Relief Factor, and I can tell you I've been continually inundated with testimonials. This is Michael Medved, and I've received thousands of testimonials that come in telling me how excited people are to be out of pain, like Bob from Ohio, who writes, I had a herniated disc in my back in 1984. I started taking Relief Factor, and for the first time, I have been completely out of constant, sometimes excruciating pain. I'm now able to work in the yard, around the house, and do my job in comfort. This is a great product. That's the end of the quote. If you're struggling with ongoing back or neck pain, shoulder, hip, or knee pain, or general muscle pain, aches, pains of any kind, do what tens of thousands of others have done so successfully. Go to ReliefFactor.com and order their 3-week quick start for just $19.95. 1-800-500-8384. That's 1-800-500-8384.
You are about to hear from Dr. Douglas Howard.
After 20 years and tens of thousands of success stories, Balance of Nature is still the only pure whole food supplement available. Balance of Nature has served more than 500 million servings of fruits and vegetables. Don't accept imitations, copies, or substitutions. Our success stories are unique to Balance of Nature's fruits and veggies. You'll know you have the real thing when you open the bottles and see, smell, and taste real produce.
It is worth every penny I pay because they really have made such a difference in my life. It is making me feel a whole lot better.
Even my doctor thought it was a good product.
Good health is only a phone call away. What are you waiting for? Don't miss your opportunity to get a free month supply of Balance of Nature. Call 1-800-2468-751. That's 1-800-2468-751. Or go online to balanceofnature.com.
Use promo code 660AM.
660 AM, The Answer. 660 AM, TheAnswer.com. Only for Texas. This is the Wells Report on 660 AM, The Answer.
You are listening to the Wells Report. My name is John David Wells. Our telephone number 866-660-5759. So the President of the United States on the 213th day of his presidency spent time talking to us about his plans for Afghanistan. And those plans are a serious departure from where they've been up to now. And these are things that are necessary for us to move forward in a way that we can fix this. Now, I'm talking about the mess in Afghanistan and, of course, Iraq as well. It is my hope, it is my sincere hope that people spend time listening to this president and what he said today. We're going to finish up our look at some of the things that he said in this speech. If you have a question or a comment on what the president said earlier today from Fort Myer in Arlington, Virginia, please join us after the top of the hour news from Fox News, and of course, a word or two from the sponsors that make this show possible. 866-660-5759. You're listening to the Wells Report. This is 660 AM, The Answer.
Hello, Howard. Garrett the Dirt Doctor here. I got a little show on the weekends, Sunday morning, and it's about natural organic gardening. We talk about landscaping and pest control. We talk about tree care. We talk about specific pest control on some things where other people say there are no solutions. Things like oak wilt, rose rosette, crepe myrtle bark scale, and fungal canker on Italian cypress. Join me every Sunday morning, 8 to 11, right here on 660 AM, The Answer.
Anytime I hear somebody talking about their contacts or the glasses and go, I just hate these, I go, hi, Climate Evangelist Eye Center. You should call them right now. If your contacts bother you, why haven't you had LASIK? Call the Climate Evangelist Eye Center at 1-800-714-2020. Now, you may have heard, if you have astigmatism, you can't have LASIK. That is not the case. Okay, seriously? We are not 20 years ago. No, this is today. And the Climate Evangelist Eye Center has amazing technology. And more people than ever are able to enjoy life after LASIK, even those who had astigmatism. And by the way, LASIK at Climate Evangelist Eye Center is affordable. In fact, right now, they're offering LASIK as low as $3 a day. And They're throwing in tickets for something like the zoo or a water park so that you can enjoy your first after LASIK summer adventure free. So make the decision to call the Climate Evangelist Eye Center right now. Be free to see. It's LASIK as low as $3 a day. 800-714-2020. That's 800-714-2020 or online at LASIKsurgery.com.
Do you know what a RIA is? It's a real estate investor association, and it's where smart people go to obtain wholesale houses, obtain no money, no credit financing, meet local buyers, sellers, and investing partners, and receive local market intelligence and training. Don't buy houses retail. That's ridiculous. And please don't waste your time and money going to a get-rich-quick seminar from a traveling pitchman. Come network with local DFW area real estate investors that are just getting started or taking it to the next level. Come join the largest real estate investor network in Texas. We meet on Tuesday, August 22nd at 6 p.m. at the Great Wolf Lodge in Grapevine. And you can register to attend for free by calling 888-205-2098. This month's topic is State of the Union Address for the DFW Real Estate Market. Call 888-205-2098. Write it down. That's 888-205-2098 to attend any of our upcoming meetings and receive a valuable Texas real estate training program for free. Brought to you by the DFW Real Estate Investment Association.
This is 660 AM, The Answer. A service of Salem Media Group on the NASDAQ as SALM, KSKY, Balch Springs, Dallas, Fort Worth. 660 AM, The Answer.
Fox News Radio, I'm Carmen Roberts. A new strategy for the war in Afghanistan.
The American people are weary of war without victory.
In a primetime address hours ago, President Trump reverses his plans for a speedy exit.
The men and women who serve our nation in combat deserve a plan for victory. They deserve the tools they need and the trust they have earned to fight and to win.
The president refused to discuss the exact strategy or how many troops he'll send to Afghanistan, but says the U.S. will stop the terrorists and defeat them badly. Meantime, U.S. Navy divers are investigating the damage to the USS John McCain that collided with an oil tanker near Singapore. They're also searching for the 10 missing sailors whose bodies may be inside flooded rooms. Fox News, we report, you decide.
660 AM, The Answer.
If you've got your sights set on a trip this year, why not celebrate Jerusalem's 50th anniversary in Israel with Dennis Prager, Mike Gallagher, and others?
Check. Checkity check. From the finally file, a federal judge has finally ordered the Internal Revenue Service to release the names of specific IRS employees involved in targeting Tea Party groups. Finally, after years of litigation, we'll get a chance at finding out just exactly who it is in the IRS that decided that agency needed to be used as a weapon against conservatives. And we'll tell you every single name next time on the Wells Report. Mark Davis, you incredible human being. Good Tuesday. Thank you very much for letting me come by and say hello. Coming up on the Wells Report next time, we're going to spend some time talking about the speech, of course, but we're also going to spend a lot of time talking about a federal judge, Reggie B. Walton of the United States District Court, Judge Reggie B. Walton of the United States District Court for the District of Columbia. What he has said and ruled is that the IRS has got to name names of specific employees involved in targeting Tea Party groups and stopping conservative politics. This is huge. We're going to talk about it next time on the Wells Report. Thanks very much for letting me say that, and we'll see you later on 660 AM The Answer.
Newspaper article, legal issue, social media, or other source showing up in your search results, you can combat it with ReputationDefender.com. Our dedicated experts in patented technology can help make your online search results look their best. Call 800-827-5948 to learn more. 800-827-5948. That's 800-827-5948. Or visit ReputationDefender.com.
Warning. If you're drowning in debt you can't afford, do not let the credit card companies trick you into thinking that you have to pay it all back, because you don't. What the credit card companies don't want you to know is that there's actually a way to get debt-free without paying off your entire debt or going bankrupt. If you have $5,000 or more in credit card debt, you now have the right to let us settle that debt for a fraction of what you owe. For free information, call Credit Associates now. 1-800-700-0299. We'll even show you how much money you could save. If you can't afford to pay off all your debt, do not let the credit card companies trick you into thinking that you have to. Call Credit Associates now for free information on how to get debt-free faster than you ever thought possible without debt consolidation or bankruptcy. We depend on your success and offer a guarantee, so there's no risk. For free information, call now. 1-800-700-0299. That's 1-800-700-0299. 1-800-700-0299.
Hey, it's Mark Davis from my friends at Good Feet. And yes, the business is called Good Feet, and they take care of your feet. But in so doing, they take care of foot pain and knee pain and hip pain, even back pain, because it can all be related to your feet and not having the right kind of arch support. Well, the Good Feet stores in DFW, Fort Worth, Plano, South Lake, and Waco, those Good Feet stores are America's arch support experts. Your shoes don't automatically know how much arch support you need. And when I have my Good Feet inserts in my work shoes, in my workout shoes, in my comfy shoes, in my dress shoes, they all feel great. I'm working better, walking better, living life, loving life, because my feet don't hurt. Foot pain, knee pain, hip pain, back pain, they can help with all of these at the Good Feet stores. And they're in Fort Worth, Plano, South Lake, and Waco. And in Fort Worth and South Lake and Waco, they're open Sundays, noon to 5. So learn all about the hours and all the locations at goodfeetdfw.com. Get out of pain today. Goodfeetdfw.com. That's goodfeetdfw.com.
Are you suffering with hearing loss? Are you sick of people constantly complaining that your TV is too loud? Are you tired of asking people to speak up? Would you like to hear more clearly, but you don't want to wear a hearing aid that makes you look old? Then you need to try Listen Clear, a life-changing breakthrough designed by top audio engineers to fit your ear almost invisibly. Listen Clear is fully adjustable, so you can find the perfect way to hear almost everything, wherever you are and whatever you're doing. And right now, you can try Listen Clear absolutely free with free shipping. We'll even give you free batteries for life. So call now, 1-855-568-4327. Listen Clear is lightweight and completely hassle-free, and it's practically invisible. Call for your risk-free home trial with free shipping and free batteries for life. For free information, call now, 1-855-568-4327. That's 1-855-568-4327. 1-855-568-4327.
We alarm our houses and we alarm our cars. But when it comes to your personal information, it can be tough to know when something isn't right. That's where Discover Card can help. Now, we'll send you an alert if we find your social security number on any one of thousands of risky websites. And this service is free for card members. Just sign up online. It's our way of looking out for you, not just your account. Learn more at discover.com/free alerts. Limitations apply.
You can listen on the go. Find us on iHeartRadio. 660 AM. The Answer. Is anybody out there paying attention to what's going on in this country, in this state, and in this city? We know one man who is. You got questions? He's got answers. This is the Wells Report with John David Wells on 660 AM. The Answer.
You are listening to the Wells Report. My name is John David Wells. Our telephone number is 866-660-5759. 866-660-5759. The President of the United States spoke to us today. It was his first national speech. He talked to us a lot about some things. He talked to us about our country and how we should, in the great example of the United States military, begin standing together instead of standing apart. He was completely correct. He said that a wounded soldier is not just an individual, but that when a soldier is wounded, the entire unit he is in is wounded. These brothers and sisters stand together, and I can personally testify that he is exactly and completely correct in that most sacred of commitments from one to another. The brothers and sisters that I serve with in the Texas Military Department are absolutely critically important to me, their life and their welfare. And typically, so are my neighbors. And you know this to be true. This radio broadcast was designed specifically with my neighbors in mind, you, so that we had a place, you and I had a place to come where we could discuss the issues of the day, where we could discuss what it was that made this country work today, or could have made it work better today if we had just had the opportunity to do so. And this is where we come together, and where we should come together, and where we must come together. And the president said that. It was the best use of the military as an example I can remember. He made some major policy statements. Major policy statement number one, we're no longer in the nation building business. We are not going to build other people's countries in our image. We are going to kill terrorists operating in those countries. Period. And that was huge. He was also the first president in my memory to tie world terrorism to not just Afghanistan, but Pakistan as well. He was the first president I've ever heard that could say unequivocally that Pakistan was playing a dual game with the United States, accepting billions of dollars in one hand, and the other hand, passing some of that money around to worldwide terrorist organizations. The president of the United States nominated Pakistan as an actor in worldwide terrorism and said they must choose not between worldwide terrorism and worldwide civilization. He said outright they must choose to participate in worldwide civilization, and they must. There are three fundamentals that the president talked about tonight regarding America's conclusion of their interests, of our interests in Afghanistan. And here's where he tied in the U.S. military again. He said, the people who have spilled their blood in the sands and rocks of Afghanistan and Iraq deserve victory. They deserve a plan leading to victory. They do. Here's how he said it.
I arrived at three fundamental conclusions about America's core interests in Afghanistan. First, our nation must seek an honorable and enduring outcome worthy of the tremendous sacrifices that have been made, especially the sacrifices of lives. The men and women who serve our nation in combat deserve a plan for victory. They deserve the tools they need and the trust they have earned to fight and to win.
Indeed. The president then realized and made a note of and learned a lesson from leaving Iraq way too soon.
The consequences of a rapid exit are both predictable and unacceptable. 9/11, the worst terrorist attack in our history, was planned and directed from Afghanistan because that country was ruled by a government that gave comfort and shelter to terrorists. A hasty withdrawal would create a vacuum that terrorists, including ISIS and Al-Qaeda, would instantly fill, just as happened before September 11th. And as we know, in 2011, America hastily and mistakenly withdrew from Iraq. As a result, our hard-won gains slipped back into the hands of terrorist enemies. Our soldiers watched as cities they had fought for and bled to liberate and won were occupied by a terrorist group called ISIS. The vacuum we created by leaving too soon gave safe haven for ISIS to spread, to grow, recruit, and launch attacks. We cannot repeat in Afghanistan the mistake our leaders made in Iraq.
I love that. I just absolutely love that. Finally, acknowledgement that the people who actually did the work, the soldiers, the sailors, the airmen, the Marines that actually did the work, deserve better than to just watch those cities that they bled for fall back into the hands of these savages. The president then pointed out some other things that nobody's ever talked about. It's not just the Taliban. It's not just Al-Qaeda. It's not just ISIS in Afghanistan. There are others. And not just Afghanistan, but Pakistan too.
I concluded that the security threats we face in Afghanistan and the broader region are immense. Today, 20 U.S. designated foreign terrorist organizations are active in Afghanistan and Pakistan, the highest concentration in any region anywhere in the world. For its part, Pakistan often gives safe haven to agents of chaos, violence, and terror. The threat is worse because Pakistan and India are two nuclear-armed states whose tense relations threaten to spiral into conflict, and that could happen. No one denies that we have inherited a challenging and troubling situation in Afghanistan and South Asia, but we do not have the luxury of going back in time and making different or better decisions. When I became president, I was given a bad and very complex hand, but I fully knew what I was getting into, big and intricate problems. But one way or another, these problems will be solved. I'm a problem solver. And in the end, we will win.
He's never sounded better. He's never sounded more like a president than he did tonight. It was beautiful. It was a great speech. He talked a little bit about being realistic about the realities of the fight that we're in.
We must address the reality of the world as it exists right now, the threats we face, and the confronting of all of the problems of today, and extremely predictable consequences of a hasty withdrawal. We need look no further than last week's vile, vicious attack in Barcelona to understand that terror groups will stop at nothing to commit the mass murder of innocent men, women, and children. You saw it for yourself. Horrible. As I outlined in my speech in Saudi Arabia 3 months ago, America and our partners are committed to stripping terrorists of their territory, cutting off their funding, and exposing the false allure of their evil ideology. Terrorists who slaughter innocent people will find no glory in this life or the next. They are nothing but thugs and criminals and predators, and that's right, losers. Working alongside our allies, we will break their will, dry up their recruitment, keep them from crossing our borders, and yes, we will defeat them, and we will defeat them handily. In Afghanistan and Pakistan, America's interests are clear. We must stop the resurgence of safe havens that enable terrorists to threaten America. And we must prevent nuclear weapons and materials from coming into the hands of terrorists and being used against us or anywhere in the world, for that matter.
Absolutely important. Absolutely. Then the president started getting specific in an unspecific way about the basic understandings of how you go about solving this problem. There are two basic approaches, a time-based approach and a conditioned or a conditions-based approach. Here's how he explained it.
A core pillar of our new strategy is a shift from a time-based approach to one based on conditions. I've said it many times how counterproductive it is for the United States to announce in advance the dates we intend to begin or end military options. We will not talk about numbers of troops or our plans for further military activities. Conditions on the ground, not arbitrary timetables, will guide our strategy from now on. America's enemies must never know our plans or believe they can wait us out. I will not say when we are going to attack, but attack we will.
That was perhaps one of the most important statements, because that signals a very simple change. The days
Empowered Texans
of micromanagement of war plans in the Oval Office have come to an end. LBJ tried it. Dismal failure. President Obama tried it. Dismal failure. President Bush just wanted to know exactly what the plan was, how it was going to work, and if he didn't like something, he wanted to find out why that had to be the way it was, and then if he believed in the plan, he let it go. That's what a president does. The president does not determine when a battle is going to be fought, when an ambush is going to be laid, when an airstrike is going to occur. President Trump is doing a great job here. We're continuing to look at his speech as we continue tonight on the Wells Report on 660 AM The Answer. Texas is a conservative state, and we like it. We want it to stay that way. And we will have what we wish if Texans are informed and engaged. Hi, I'm John David Wells from the Wells Report. I want to tell you a little bit about Empower Texans and EmpoweredTexans.com. Empowered Texans is run by a guy named Michael Quinn Sullivan. He's a friend of mine. When I first got to town in 2006, he took me aside and said, "Here, let me help." He started telling me about the way Texas politics was, what I thought I knew and didn't, and all of the things that have absolutely enriched this broadcast from that time until this. How would you like to have some of that same information? Real easy to do. Go to EmpowerTexans.com, subscribe to their free weekly news digest. That's EmpowerTexans.com. It's free. All you got to do is just say, "Hey, send it to me." It's a week. It's one piece of reading every week that not only will you truly profit from, but you'll start to look forward to, because suddenly you'll be in the know. Empower Texans makes it happen. They make the possibility of you holding your elected officials accountable happen. You need to let them give you that power. By the way, their operations here in the Metroplex, they deal with county, school, city, all kinds of government in that area. While down south in the Austin offices, they focus on state government issues. You get to know about all of it. EmpowerTexans.com. Subscribe to the free weekly news digest. EmpowerTexans.com. 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 Get in touch. Tell them you heard about it on the Wells Report.
Your home for stimulating talk. 660 AM. The Answer.
Listen to what Jeff says about Andro 400.
This product is so much better than even some of the advertisements. It's changed every aspect of my life. I was a 40 waist, and with the Andro 400, I'm down to 36. I'm 54 years old, and people have said to me that I look better than I ever have, and that I look like I'm in my early 40s. Hands down, I'm in the best shape of my life, and I'm telling you, it's the Andro. People immediately notice the burst of energy, my skin, my energy, plus the weight loss, the toning of the body, and the increased strength and endurance that I have in the gym. Where I was and where I am now, night and day. And Andro 400 has made the difference. My customers, my friends, my family, everybody's noticing the difference.
Guys, if you want to lose belly fat, gain energy, strength, and muscle, and look and feel years younger like Jeff, try Andro 400, the safe, natural, and affordable way to boost your testosterone. Go to andro400.com or call 888-400-0435. That's 400-0435. Andro400.com.
Do you trust our economy? How about our banking system? Our president has stated we are sitting on a bubble right now, and that when the Fed raises interest rates, bad things are going to happen. Well, the Fed is raising rates here and now. There has never been a better time to turn your IRA or 401k into physical gold or silver with GSI Exchange. Call 833-GSI-GOLD. GSI Exchange can make this happen fast, and it's money you control, not the big banks. 833-GSI-GOLD. Ask about our bank failure survival guide and learn how your qualified IRA transfer can get you $1,500 in free physical gold or silver delivered right to your home. GSI Exchange has an A+ rating with the Better Business Bureau. Call GSI Exchange at 833-GSI-GOLD. That's 833-474-4653. Or visit us on the web at gsi.gold. Call GSI Exchange at 833-GSI-GOLD.
It's after 5 o'clock and you're driving home from another day at the office. Wouldn't it be nice if your advertising was working around the clock? And if you came into the office the next day with some new business to work on? That would be great, right? Here at 660 AM The Answer, we talk to business owners every day, and they all want the same thing, positive word of mouth. They want people talking about them in a good way. Well, we've done that for businesses all across the Metroplex. That's why you hear commercials from many of the same advertisers day after day. It's because advertising on 660 AM The Answer works. And we can do that for your business. Imagine your commercial running in shows you listen to each day, like John David Wells, Mark Davis, or Sean Hannity. Now, it's not right for everybody, and we'll tell you if it's not. We value clients that have the same high ethical standards that we hold dear. If this sounds good to you, go to 660amtheanswer.com and click on Advertise with Us, and it will give you some more information. And give us a call or shoot us an email. Thanks.
Do you have low back or neck pain? Does it run down your arms or your legs? Do you have a bulging or herniated disc degeneration, or spinal arthritis? Even worse, have you been told you need back surgery or injections? If you answered yes, then please listen to what I have to say. My name is Dr. Chad Vines, DC, at Genesis Back and Neck, and I use the most advanced spinal decompression system available, the DRX 9000, to correct back problems just like yours. We don't use addictive drugs, and we don't use any type of dangerous invasive surgery for these problems. Spinal decompression is safe, FDA cleared, and it's not painful, and has about an 86% success rate. We accept most insurances, and your first visit will be at no charge. You will sit down and visit with me personally until I've answered all of your questions. And if you're a candidate for decompression, you can try out the treatment all at no charge to you. So if you're ready to not hurt anymore and don't want to have surgery, call me at 817-328-1922. That's 817-328-1922, or online at mylowback.com.
Dallas, Fort Worth's home for stimulating talk. 660 AM, The Answer. Now, more of the Wells Report with John David Wells on 660 AM, The Answer.
You are listening to the Wells Report. My name is John David Wells. Telephone number 866-660-5759. The military puts all of their capabilities into what they call combined arms. And every part of every military organization has a piece in big situations that require obliteration of our enemies. Combined arms. The President of the United States is now doing something along those similar lines with American power, the military, diplomacy, etc., all working together for a common change of the current status quo.
Another fundamental pillar of our new strategy is the integration of all instruments of American power, diplomatic, economic, and military, toward a successful outcome. Someday, after an effective military effort, perhaps it will be possible to have a political settlement that includes elements of the Taliban in Afghanistan. But nobody knows if or when that will ever happen. America will continue its support for the Afghan government and the Afghan military as they confront the Taliban in the field. Ultimately, it is up to the people of Afghanistan to take ownership of their future, to govern their society, and to achieve and everlasting peace. We are a partner and a friend, but we will not dictate to the Afghan people how to live or how to govern their own complex society. We are not nation building again. We are killing terrorists.
There you go. We're not nation building again. We are killing terrorists. Now, the next thing he talked about requires a little bit more time because he starts talking about Pakistan. One of the most frustrating things about dealing with people in that particular region of the world is the double dealing you get from Pakistani military and government personnel. Duplicity is a part of their culture, very much like the Arabian world. There are plans within plans. It is something that grows up, in my view, out of necessity. But in the case of dealing with the United States, where that necessity has never really come to the fore, duplicity is frustrating. It is counterproductive. And what it does is it prolongs difficulties and creates and foments discontent between the parties. The president is forcing Pakistan to deal with the realities of their situation. They can either stand with terrorists, as Iran does, or they can stand with civilization, as we do. And the president made no bones about it. Pakistan will stand for civilization. And I think they should. This is the Wells Report.
From Plano to Denton down to Louisville too. Hot Finds has it. Also in McKinney, we'll prove it to you. Hot Finds has it.
And now, during Huffines Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram's gigantic summer clearance event, save the big bucks on every remaining new 2017 Huffines Chrysler Jeep Dodge and Ram car, truck, and SUV while choosing from a Texas-size selection. Plus, Huffines saves you even more with the highest cash rebates and lowest financing available and top dollar for your trade. And remember, Huffines is the Consumer Choice Auto Group of the Year for the 9th consecutive year. For more, click to Huffines.net or come to Huffines Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram at Ohio and Plano Parkway in Plano, or in Louisville at Huffines Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram right off the I-35 just north of 121.
Huffines has it. Huffines has it.
At Simple Sleep Services, we believe the best way to treat the serious medical condition of sleep apnea is the easy way. Our team of doctors are experts in providing the least invasive treatment for snoring and sleep apnea, a custom-fit, comfortable solution that you simply pop in before bed each night and wake up feeling refreshed. And it's covered by medical insurance. You don't have to endure the cumbersome CPAP mask or go through the pain and downtime of surgery or implants. We are the most experienced team in the nation providing our treatment. Your diagnosis will be from a board-certified sleep physician using today's latest technology. Let us start you down the path of a restful night's sleep. Visit simplesleepservices.com or call 469-685-1700. Treat your sleep apnea and snoring the simple way. No CPAP, no surgery, no implants, just simple sleep. Go to simplesleepservices.com or call 469-685-1700. Don't spend another night on the couch or sleeping alone. simplesleepservices.com.
Balance of Nature's fruits and veggies.
I've had 10 major surgeries, including 3 brain surgeries. And I have extreme rheumatoid arthritis, lupus, and fibromyalgia. And I wanted to let him know that his balance of nature have helped boost my immune system so much, because I'm on injectable medications for the rheumatoid, and they bring down your immune system. Since I've been taking balance of nature, I haven't gotten a cold, nothing. It really helped me tremendously.
Good health is only a phone call away. What are you waiting for? Don't miss your opportunity to get a free month's supply of Balance of Nature. Call 1-800-2468-751. That's 1-800-2468-751. Or go online to balanceofnature.com.
Use promo code
660 AM. Oil investments involve a high degree of risk and actual results may vary. With the stock market at all-time highs, cash in your profits now and invest in an asset that can potentially pay for up to 20 or more years. That's the sound of a producing oil well, and that's the sound of a smart investment. If your personal net worth exceeds $1 million excluding your primary residence, then you qualify as an SEC-defined accredited investor. Call 800-833-7944 to learn how you can potentially achieve 20 or more years of income and deduct 100% of every dollar invested against all forms of income. Encore is drilling in an area that is potentially one of the most prolific horizontal oil plays in the entire country. Oil prices are projected to rise, so you need to own your own piece of an oil field. Find out why Encore's horizontal oil program was recently featured in the Energy and Mining International magazine. Call 800-833-7944 directly to the home office of Encore Energy. That's 800-833-7944. 800-833-7944.
Warning. If you've recently declared bankruptcy, you're going to want to cover your ears because there's an alternative to bankruptcy and it could be better than you'd ever think possible. But if you've already declared bankruptcy and have missed this opportunity, you'll want to cover your ears now. Here it is. Right now, the company that has resolved more credit card debt than anyone in the U.S. may be able to settle your debt too. You could resolve your debt with one low monthly program payment. If you call right now and qualify, Freedom Debt Relief will show you how low your monthly program payment could be for free. Call now. 1-800-600-3731. That's 1-800-600-3731. If you're struggling with debt, this could be your answer. And the bigger your debt, the more money you could save. To find out for free how much of your hard-earned money Freedom Debt Relief could help you save, call now. 1-800-600-3731. 1-800-600-3731. 1-800-600-3731.
Learn a little something at the start of your day. The Mark Davis Show. Mornings 7 to 10 on 660 AM. The Answer. The truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. The Wells Report with John David Wells on 660 AM. The Answer.
866-660-5759 is our telephone number. Please join us if you have a comment on the speech tonight. What did you think of the president's speech? Give me an overview in general terms. 866-660-5759. 866-660-5759. Changing the approach. Dealing with Pakistan. Big news in tonight's speech from Donald Trump.
The next pillar of our new strategy is to change the approach and how to deal with Pakistan. We can no longer be silent about Pakistan's safe havens for terrorist organizations, the Taliban, and other groups that pose a threat to the region and beyond. Pakistan has much to gain from partnering with our effort in Afghanistan. It has much to lose by continuing to harbor criminals and terrorists. In the past, Pakistan has been a valued partner. Our militaries have worked together against common enemies. The Pakistani people have suffered greatly from terrorism and extremism. We recognize those contributions and those sacrifices. But Pakistan has also sheltered the same organizations that try every single day to kill our people. We have been paying Pakistan billions and billions of dollars. At the same time, they are housing the very terrorists that we are fighting. But that will have to change, and that will change immediately. No partnership can survive a country's harboring of militants and terrorists who target U.S. service members and officials. It is time for Pakistan to demonstrate its commitment to civilization, order, and to peace.
Civilization, order, and to peace. Absolutely wonderful. Absolutely wonderful. So, what will the military do? Well, first things first, they're going to have everything they need to do the job.
Finally, my administration will ensure that you, the brave defenders of the American people, will have the necessary tools and rules of engagement to make this strategy work and work effectively and work quickly. I have already lifted restrictions the previous administration placed on our warfighters that prevented the Secretary of Defense and our commanders in the field from fully and swiftly waging battle against the enemy. Micromanagement from Washington, D.C. does not win battles. They're won in the field, drawing upon the judgment and expertise of wartime commanders and frontline soldiers, acting in real time with real authority and with a clear mission to defeat the enemy. That's why we will also expand authority for American armed forces to target the terrorist and criminal networks that sow violence and chaos throughout Afghanistan. These killers need to know they have nowhere to hide, that no place is beyond the reach of American might and American arms. Retribution will be fast and powerful. As we lift restrictions and expand authorities in the field, we are already seeing dramatic results in the campaign to defeat ISIS, including the liberation of Mosul in Iraq.
It's awe-inspiring to see the way the United States military goes about its business when unencumbered by foolishness. When political necessities overwhelm military requirements, you end up having wars that last decades. We must stop this. We must stop this. And I keep going back. I keep hearing that what we're going to do is we're going to stop nation building. We're going to go out there and we're going to kill terrorists. We're not going there to build someone's nation in our image. We're going there to look after our security interests. That is the difference. That is the difference between the kind of military theory that wins versus the kind of military theory that prolongs the process. You know what? It's just another extension of what I've always said. Politics loves a problem and hates a solution. They'd rather have an ongoing war with Pakistan for 20 years than go in there in 4 years, destroy two superpowers, develop the B-29 and the A-bomb. That is a quote from Newt Gingrich that says it all. The president talked a little bit about what the U.S. military has achieved since his inauguration.
Since my inauguration, we have achieved record-breaking success in that regard. We will also maximize sanctions and other financial and law enforcement actions against these networks to eliminate their ability to export terror. When America commits its warriors to battle, we must ensure they have every weapon to apply swift, decisive, and overwhelming force. Our troops will fight to win. We will fight to win. From now on, victory will have a clear definition: attacking our enemies, obliterating ISIS, crushing al-Qaeda, preventing the Taliban from taking over Afghanistan, and stopping mass terror attacks against America before they emerge. We will ask our NATO allies and global partners to support our new strategy with additional troop and funding increases in line with our own. We are confident they will. Since taking office, I have made clear that our allies and partners must contribute much more money to our collective defense, and they have done so.
Indeed, they have. The president then went on to call on the citizens of Afghanistan. They need to put some skin in this game, too.
In this struggle, the heaviest burden will continue to be borne by the good people of Afghanistan and their courageous armed forces. As the Prime Minister of Afghanistan has promised, we are going to participate in economic development to help defray the cost of this war to us. Afghanistan is fighting to defend and secure their country against the same enemies who threaten us. The stronger the Afghan security forces become, the less we will have to do. Afghans will secure and build their own nation and define their own future. We want them to succeed. But we will no longer use American military might to construct democracies in faraway lands or try to rebuild other countries in our own image. Those days are now over. Instead, we will work with allies and partners to protect our shared interests. We are not asking others to change their way of life, but to pursue common goals that allow our children to live better and safer lives. This principled realism will guide our decisions moving forward.
Well said, Mr. President. Then he said that, yes, we're going to work with Afghanistan, but there are limits.
Military power alone will not bring peace to Afghanistan or stop the terrorist threat arising in that country. But strategically applied force aims to create the conditions for a political process to achieve a lasting peace. America will work with the Afghan government as long as we see determination and progress. However, our commitment is not unlimited, and our support is not a blank check. The government of Afghanistan must carry their share of the military, political, and economic burden. The American people expect to see real reforms, real progress, and real results. Our patience is not unlimited. We will keep our eyes wide open. In abiding by the oath I took on January 20th, I will remain steadfast in protecting American lives and American interests. In this effort, we will make common cause with any nation that chooses to stand and fight alongside us against this global threat. Terrorists, take heed. America will never let up until you are dealt a lasting defeat.
We will not let up until you are dealt a lasting defeat. Presidential words spoken beautifully by the President of the United States. On this, his first address to the nation. He does the big presidential things just fine. I like the fact that he mixes it up with the press when he makes a speech and so on and so on. I'm looking forward to the press getting back to what they do best, which is asking questions instead of stomping on presidents. I'm looking very much forward to hearing an honest debate about the things that make us great, as opposed to whatever the tool du jour is that drives us apart. This president, using the perfect example, the United States military told us to solve our differences, come together as Americans, to do the hard work of being American, because it is hard work. It's a lot easier to wander around and do stupid things and talk about 75-year-old statues from a 152-year-old war. As my dear friend Lance Price said so brilliantly, American blacks who were never slaves are protesting sculptures and monuments that were set up by Democrats in an effort to divide all of us from the true mission at hand, which is to stand together and solve problems together. We must do this. It would be easier if the Democrat Party had not descended into this existential threat to the United States of America. I truly wish I had a chance to speak with Nancy Pelosi, Elizabeth Warren, Bernie Sanders, Chuck Schumer, all of these people, Dick Durbin. I'd love to have an opportunity to sit down with them and say, what is it about the Democrat Party that makes it an existential threat to the United States of America? I want them to answer those questions. Why would you be against religious liberty and freedom? Why would you be against someone speaking their mind plainly, whether it was something you wanted to hear or not? Why wouldn't you want your fellow Americans to be able to defend themselves with deadly force when confronted with deadly force? Why wouldn't you want your fellow Americans to be secure in their persons, their papers, their houses, their effects? Why would you allow the American might of these intelligence agencies to focus their efforts on we the people? Why would you do that? Why would you not stop it? Why would you allow the Attorney General, the top law officer, a law official of the United States of America during the Obama administration, to try to draw some sort of weird differentiation between due process and due process of law? There is no such thing as due process. It's due process of law. Why would you do those things? Why would you be an existential threat to this nation? Stop it. Stop it. Find things that you love about America. And do it today. This is the Wells Report.
Hey, it's Mark Davis. We have an idea, a celebration featuring you and some special guests. Join us for an evening with Mark Davis, Wednesday, September 20th, Austin Ranch and Grapevine, featuring Colonel Alan West, Cowboys legend Daryl Moose Johnston, and my talk show brother, Mike Gallagher. Tickets on sale now at 660amtheanswer.com. A great dinner and an evening of radio stories, hot topics, unpredictable moments. An evening with Mark Davis. Join us September 20th. Tickets on sale now at 660amtheanswer.com. Brought to you by Southwest Office Systems, AAA Auger Services, and DFW Honda.
People always call us when they want a guaranteed income that can last as long as they do.
Jerry Bailey and Dottie Schaefer of the Retirement Hour.
When it's time for your last day at the office, enjoy some peace of mind, knowing you won't be blindsided in retirement.
We can help you create a guaranteed return on your money that keeps your money safe, growing, and compounding over time. We'll show you how. Call us for your free, no-obligation retirement review in our Dallas or Fort Worth office, or just call for a second opinion on your retirement plan, 800-550-6750. Protect and grow with us. Local relationship, local accountability.
Leave your checkbook at home. The sooner you call, the safer your options.
Don't run out of money before you run out of time. Call Jerry and Dottie for your free no-obligation consultation. 800-550-6750. 800-550-6750. Learn more at theretirementhour.com. 800-550-6750.
Have you checked your Google search results lately? Search results are usually the first impression that people form of you or your business, so make sure that they create a positive impression with ReputationDefender.com. What the internet says about you can have a big impact on your life and your livelihood, even if it's not true. Fortunately, you can now control how you look online and in online search results with ReputationDefender.com. Call 800-827-5948 now. That's 800-827-5948 for your free reputation analysis. If you have negative material from an ex-employee, upset patient, or former client, newspaper article, legal issue, social media, or other source showing up in your search results, you can combat it with ReputationDefender.com. Our dedicated experts in patented technology can help make your online search results look their best. Call 800-827-5948 to learn more. 800-827-5948. That's 800-827-5948. Or visit ReputationDefender.com.
Policies issued by American General Life Insurance Company, Houston, Texas. Not available in all states. For details, visit AIGdirect.com.
If you're young and healthy, you don't need life insurance, right? Yeah, that's what I used to think too, until my brother died at 38. Joe left his wife with 2 kids, a mortgage, and a stack of bills she couldn't pay. Mary had to sell the house and move everybody into this tiny 2-bedroom apartment just to make ends meet. I never want to do that to my wife, so I got life insurance. I called AIG Direct and was really surprised how affordable it is. Just $14 a month for $250,000 of term life coverage. Listen, if you have a family, you should seriously think about getting life insurance. You'll feel a lot better having it, trust me.
Call AIG Direct for a free no-obligation quote. The call takes less than 5 minutes, and you could save up to 70%. Call now, 1-800-700-5593. That's 1-800-700-5593. 1-800-700-5593.
Amazing to realize, but it's been almost 2 years I've been talking with you about Relief Factor, and I can tell you I've been continually inundated with testimonials. This is Michael Medved, and I've received thousands of testimonials that come in telling me how excited people are to be out of pain. Like Bob from Ohio, who writes, I had a herniated disc in my back in 1984. I started taking Relief Factor, and for the first time, I have been completely out of constant, sometimes excruciating pain. I'm now able to work in the yard, around the house, and do my job in comfort. This is a great product. That's the end of the quote. If you're struggling with ongoing back or neck pain, shoulder, hip, or knee pain, or general muscle pain, aches, pains of any kind, do what tens of thousands of others have done so successfully. Go to ReliefFactor.com and order their 3-week quick start for just $19.95. 1-800-500-8384. That's 1-800-500-8384.
Have you ever considered joining the military but stopped because you couldn't deploy to a foreign country? Believe it or not, the state of Texas has its own military force that stands alongside the Texas National Guard, the Texas Air National Guard, and serves only inside the state of Texas. It's called the Texas State Guard. I'm Tech Sergeant John Wells of the 4th Air Wing, and we're looking for you to join us. Give us a call at 877-398-8350. That's 877-398-8350. If you love Texas as much as we do, join the 4th Air Wing of the Texas State Guard.
Listen to us live on iHeartRadio, 660 AM. The Answer. You're hearing tomorrow's front page on the Wells Report with John David Wells on 660 AM. The Answer.
866-660-5759 is our telephone number, 866-660-5759. A lot of people to thank tonight. We want to thank David Darling, who's our operations manager, for giving us the opportunity to cover the American speech, the President of the United States speaking to the United States of America, the people of America. Tonight, we want to thank him for giving us that opportunity. Want to thank the people who called in, and of course, Congressman Pete Sessions. Want to thank all the people who called in and asked questions, because it's very, very important that we get a chance to hear these representatives speak. They represent us in Washington. They owe it to us to tell us what we need to know about their work, but we owe them the courtesy and responsibility of listening to what they have to say. This may be the only place where people could hear what Pete Sessions said when he was answering a question, because I wouldn't let people scream at him at the top of their lungs, which is what happens in a typical town hall meeting. You need to remember that next time there is one. Show these people the respect they deserve, because they're representing us. And we need to know if they're getting it wrong. And to do that, we have to listen. The executive producer of the Wells Report is Vicki Steifer. Technical director, conductor of the Wells Report Orchestra is Magic Matt Swinney. My name is John David Wells. God bless you and yours. Thanks very much for listening tonight. We'll see you again tomorrow for another edition of the Wells Report.
Do you suffer from pain, numbness, tingling, and/or balance problems in the feet or hands? You may have peripheral neuropathy. For months, years, or even decades, you have been taking medications, but your pain continues to worsen? We can help. We are the Neuropathy and Pain Centers of Texas. Even if you have tried several different solutions, don't give up. New progressive treatments are finally available, and they may be the answer to your pain and neuropathy. The Neuropathy and Pain Centers of Texas, with multiple locations throughout DFW, are now offering free consultations to see if you are a candidate for these new treatments. You don't have to live with the pain. We are now offering free consultations to the first 20 callers.
Call today to set up a free consultation. 844-603-6962. That's 844-603-6962. Or go to stopmynervepain.com. Space is limited. Call today.
Over 70 million Americans have unhealthy blood pressure levels. Are you one of them? Introducing Berkeley Life, a 100% drug-free supplement to help maintain normal, healthy blood pressure while supporting energy and vitality. Now, for a limited time, try Berkeley Life free. Call 800-709-4285. A key to maintaining healthy blood pressure is your body's nitric oxide levels. Berkeley Life helps to boost nitric oxide levels naturally. The breakthrough is from a discovery which won a Nobel Prize in medicine on nitric oxide levels in the bloodstream. Berkeley Life includes free saliva test strips to see your levels instantly. Now there is a supplement you test yourself and can see it's working. In a consumer study, 91% felt healthier after taking Berkeley Life for just 3 weeks. Here's Dan, an actual Berkeley Life user.
There were positive effects, more energy, more clarity. Another great thing is I don't have to worry about my blood pressure levels anymore.
Get your free 30-day supply. Call 800-709-4285. Just pay shipping and handling. 800-709-4285. 800-709-4285. Results may vary.
Sean Hannity here for my friends at Generator Supercenter, the great American story. Now, this started in 2005 with two brothers selling and repairing generators out of their garage in Texas. Today, they are the #1 Generac dealer in the nation. #1 means more savings for you. When the power goes down, keep your home or business up and running with a Generac standby power system from the Generator Supercenter. Financing available, payments as low as $100 a month. GeneratorSupercenter.com. That's GeneratorSupercenter.com.
This is 660 AM, The Answer. A service of Salem Media Group on the NASDAQ as SALM. KSKY, Balch Springs, Dallas, Fort Worth. 660 AM, The Answer.
Fox News Radio, I'm Carmen Roberts. President Trump talks to America prime time, vowing to win the war against terrorists in Afghanistan.
We will defeat them, and we will defeat them handily.
The president says he's switching strategies.
We will not talk about numbers of troops or our plans for further military activities. Conditions on the ground, not arbitrary timetables, will guide our strategy from now on.
Adding, after 16 years of war, the U.S. won't write a blank check, but it will hold Pakistan responsible for harboring terrorists and will let the Afghan people govern themselves. Death during the solar eclipse. Police in Hyden, Kentucky say that a car struck 2 women on a sidewalk watching the eclipse, killing one of them. And at least 1 dead in Italy after a 4.3 magnitude earthquake strikes. Fox News, we report, you decide.
660 AM, The Answer. Listen on iHeartRadio.
Hello, Howard Garrett, the Dirt Doctor here. I got a little show on the weekends, Sunday morning, and it's about natural organic gardening. We talk about landscaping and pest control. We talk about tree care. We talk about specific pest control on some things where other people say there are no solutions. Things like oak wilt, rose rosette, crepe myrtle bark scale, and fungal canker on Italian cypress. Join me every Sunday morning, 8 to 11, right here on 660 AM, The Answer.
Have you checked your Google search results lately? Search results are usually the first impression that people form of you or your business, so make sure that they create a positive impression with ReputationDefender.com. What the internet says about you can have a big impact on your life and your livelihood, even if it's not true. Fortunately, you can now control how you look online and in online search results with ReputationDefender.com. Call 800-827-5948 now. That's 800-827-5948 for your free reputation analysis. If you have negative material from an ex-employee, upset patient, or former client, newspaper article, legal issue, social media, or other source showing up in your search results, you can combat it with ReputationDefender.com. Our dedicated experts in patented technology can help make your online search results look their best. Call 800-827-5948 to learn more. 800-827-5948. That's 800-827-5948. Or visit ReputationDefender.com.
Hey, it's Mark Davis from my friends at Good Feet. And yes, the business is called Good Feet, and they take care of your feet. But in so doing, they take care of foot pain and knee pain and hip pain, even back pain, because it can all be related to your feet. and not having the right kind of arch support. Well, the Good Feet stores in DFW, Fort Worth, Plano, South Lake, and Waco, those Good Feet stores are America's arch support experts. Your shoes don't automatically know how much arch support you need. And when I have my Good Feet inserts in my work shoes, in my workout shoes, in my comfy shoes, in my dress shoes, they all feel great. I'm working better, walking better, living life, loving life because my feet don't hurt. Foot pain, knee pain, hip pain, back pain, they can help with all of these at the Good Feet stores. And they're in Fort Worth, Plano, South Lake, and Waco. And in Fort Worth and South Lake and Waco, they're open Sundays, noon to 5. So learn all about the hours and all the locations at goodfeetdfw.com. Get out of pain today. Goodfeetdfw.com. That's goodfeetdfw.com.
Do you have low back or neck pain? Does it run down your arms or your legs? Do you have a bulging or herniated disc degeneration, or spinal arthritis? Even worse, have you been told you need back surgery or injections? If you answered yes, then please listen to what I have to say. My name is Dr. Chad Vines, DC, at Genesis Back and Neck, and I use the most advanced spinal decompression system available, the DRX 9000, to correct back problems just like yours. We don't use addictive drugs, and we don't use any type of dangerous invasive surgery for these problems. Spinal decompression is safe, FDA cleared, and it's not painful, and has about an 86% success rate. We accept most insurances, and your first visit will be at no charge. You will sit down and visit with me personally until I've answered all of your questions. And if you're a candidate for decompression, you can try out the treatment all at no charge to you. So if you're ready to not hurt anymore and don't want to have surgery, call me at 817-328-1922. That's 817-328-1922, or online at mylowback.com.
Balance of Nature's fruits and veggies.
Oh, I had my joints all ached. I had my sciatic nerve was really bad. Like 10 hours, my eyes were so tired and heavy and almost burning. And then when I woke up in the morning, there was this nagging pain. I mean, it hurt to open them. And just in a week, like, I don't have the nagging pain anymore. My joints stopped hurting, and I'm in wood season. I'm lugging wood right now, and I'm not hurting. So that's, like, amazing for me. I'm usually really suffering. It's pretty effective. And so now, like I said, my husband and I are both taking it, and he even said his joints aren't aching as much, and he's feeling better.
Good health is only a phone call away. What are you waiting for? Don't miss your opportunity to get a free month supply of Balance of Nature. Call 1-800-2468-751. That's 1-800-2468-751. Or go online to balanceofnature.com.
Use promo code 660AM.
Dell says the things you just can't say to your friends, boss, kids, financial planner, spouse, or even the cat. Need him to deliver the message? Don't worry. Dell's past show archives are just a click away. Go to DellOnTheRadio.com and turn your speakers up for everyone to hear. Dell delivers his unconventional wisdom 24 hours a day at DellOnTheRadio.com.
This is 660 AM. The Answer.
America's #1 show on pop culture and politics. This is the Michael Medved Show.
And another great day in this greatest nation on God's green earth. And what a great day it is. It is a peak day for literally millions and millions of Americans. I heard all about it. I experienced it. We are at 90% of totality here in the Seattle area. We'll talk a little bit about the eclipse. Yes, really, and what it all means. We'll also talk about the very, very good news on this great day that the Spanish authorities did find the driver, the murderer, the killer, and it didn't go well for him. It went well for civilization. But is Europe still mentioned with threatened by imminent demise? There is a new book about the death of Europe. We'll talk to the author, the wildly controversial Douglas Murray, coming up on the Michael Medved Show. And then we'll also talk about the very, very latest on the 1860s. No, really, about the ongoing debate about how we remember the bloodiest war in American history and the right way and the wrong way of approaching that. 1-800-955-1776 is our phone number. There was a great deal of excitement all over the country as the eclipse moved from west to east. And yes, usually you think the sun moves from east to west, right? But no, the eclipse was moving from west to east. And the excitement was highlighted, of course, on CNN.
They're about 3 meters apart each, and
that is absolutely incredible. As it passed totality, this crowd just erupted.
People are cheering. This is fantastic. I'm just going to let you listen to the cheering for a little bit. It's a huge payoff. This is spectacular. It's beautiful. Oh my gosh, right now you can actually see. Oh my gosh, it's really exciting. Right now through the clouds, you can actually see the eclipse. I know I sound like a little kid, but there's very few things when you're my age that excite you this much.
I'm having a hard time coming up with words to describe what I experienced. It's such an extraordinary moment.
My glasses are off, Anderson, and to hear the sounds that this crowd is making as everybody experiences it, I think it took everyone a moment to realize that it was safe. I want to ask the guy standing next to me, what are you experiencing right now?
Honestly, it's the first time I've ever felt in my life, as one person connected to the universe.
Did anyone else have that experience out there, whether you were in the Northwest or you were in Kentucky or you're in South Carolina? The eclipse has passed through our great country. The President of the United States went out with his beautiful wife and his son Barron onto the porch of the White House. They put on the eclipse glasses. I'm sure the NASA-sanctioned eclipse glasses, and watched it. If you watched it, if you experienced it, if you went outside, tell me what it did for you. 1-800-955-1776. This is one of those things. I really want to have this feeling and this experience, but maybe I just have a hole in my soul, as they say, that there's something wrong with me. I thought it was kind of cool. I'll tell you, we work here. We do the show in a radio newsroom. There are 3 different stations that are located right here in this building. We all share a newsroom, and then I come into the studio and do the show. So there are a bunch of people working at these 3 different stations. One of them is the local sports station, which is the Mariner station, and too bad about the total eclipse of Mariner hitting yesterday, but okay. The Mariner station and the Seahawks station, that was better this weekend with a Friday night victory. But and then down the hall is another news talk station. So everybody came out at the time of near totality. We were supposed to get 90% totality here. And we went out into the parking lot, and it was kind of cool. It was kind of fun. Everybody was looking up and looking at, and it got kind of overcast. I mean, it's what it felt like, except it wasn't overcast. And yes, you could look, and the shadows were very distinct on the asphalt of the parking lot. And it looked strange, but to say that this was a life-changing experience, I think would be perhaps overstating it. And I was reminded of that old Carly Simon song, where You're So Vain, where part of the lyrics about the person who was so vain, and there are all sorts of different theories about who she had in mind. Was it Warren Beatty? Who was it? In any event, whoever it was who was so vain, it said, you flew your Learjet up to Nova Scotia for a total eclipse of the sun. Okay, so You're So Vain. I bet you think the song was about you. I bet you think the song was about something. What was it about? 1-800-955-1776, our phone number. On CNN, they suggested it was a deeply spiritual experience.